I don't like when people shame for picking your nose. Everyone picks their nose.
Picking your nose is fine.
Everyone in the world picks their nose. If you say you don't pick your nose, you're a fucking liar. It's the same thing as like people who pee in pools. Like, oh, I don't pee in pools. No, you're a liar.
Yeah, picking your nose is fine, but the conversation is like the eating the booger is the part that concerns me.
Yeah. Yeah, he shouldn't have eaten his booger. On today's Part of My Take, we have Coach Jon Gruden on the show. Awesome interview with Coach Gruden. We're also going to do our Week 8 preview picks. Every single game we're going to talk about. We're going to talk a little Thursday night football. We got the big game, Bears, Commanders, even maybe bigger game, Patriots, Jets.
Yeah, the game that could tear this podcast apart.
Yeah. We are going to do Fyre Fest of the week, and we are brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. Does your favorite NBA player have what it takes to be crowned king of the court? Find out at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Here's the deal. It is one of the coolest promos I've seen anywhere. DraftKings is offering $1 million a day in bonus bets for the first 10 days of the NBA season. That's $10 million in bonus bets, and here's how to shoot your shot. Opt in and get a daily NBA profit boost token. Pick a pregame NBA player prop to boost. If that player leads the league that night in points plus rebounds plus assists, you win a share of $1 million in bonus bets. So you can pick anyone. If that guy wins, you're going to split it with whoever else picked that person. So like I took a long shot tonight. I took Klay Thompson. I know that was crazy. He actually had a really nice game. He scored 22 points. But if he had the lead in points, rebounds, and assists tonight, if he had scored 50, let's say, I would have been splitting $1 million in bonus bets with probably a small pool because it's Klay Thompson. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE to win a share of $1 million in bonus bets if your player is king of the court. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. And here's the other thing. Your bet still stands. So if you just say, hey, I want Klay Thompson over 20 points, you'd win that bet tonight. And then if he went nuclear, you'd have a chance at that $1 million in bonus bets. So again, use code TAKE when you sign up for DraftKings for your share of $1 million in bonus bets if your player is the king of the court. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Part of My Take, presented by DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TAKE right now. That's code TAKE to win a share of $1 million in bonus bets if your player is king of the court. It's one of the coolest promos DraftKings has ever run. The king of the court, opt in, pick a player. If they lead the league in that night in points, rebounds, and assists, you win a share of $1 million in bonus bets with everyone else who bet that player. So go download the DraftKings app right now. Use code TAKE. Today is Friday, October 25th, and the Los Angeles Rams could potentially be back, but we also hit on the trend finally. The Vikings playing off a game against the Lions go against any team that just played the Lions. The Rams win 30 to 20 because we had the most face mask that's ever face masked to end the game.
The most face mask that's ever face masked. Yeah, it was a ridiculous face mask. It was right in front of the ref too.
Yeah.
And it was a very bizarre way to end the game. So much so that the guy that grabbed Sam Darnold by the face mask immediately put his hands on his head.
Yep.
In the oh fuck, I can't believe I just did that. What a dumb boneheaded play move.
Mm-hmm.
That's international sign language for bonehead.
Yeah.
I'm a bonehead.
He was just waiting for the call to happen. It just never happened.
It never happened. This is why there was a rule in the UFL that there was such a thing as a super challenge, which is a cool name. You know what a super challenge is?
No, it sounds awesome.
It's very awesome. You can challenge anything you want, and coaches get to do it once a game. So you can be like, go look at this, even if it's not technically, quote, a reviewable call. And a ref can go over to a screen, look at it and be like, yeah, that's a fucking face mask.
Yeah.
Easy call. The super challenge fixes that.
Super challenge would have fixed this. So, yeah, I mean, I think the Rams probably would have won anyway, but it still sucked just because it was directly in the line of sight of the ref. He was maybe 2 feet away from a face mask that every single person knew he literally got tackled by his face mask.
Yeah.
But now we have the Rams kind of looking frisky at 3-4 with Puka and Cooper Kupp back.
Yeah,
which
did the
was
Rams
huge.
just become buyers?
I mean, all week we heard that the Rams were maybe shopping Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp. Now they win this game. They've won 2 games in a row. They've got guys healthy. They look competent. I don't know.
Well, the crazy part leading into this game was there were floating rumors out there about Matt Stafford being traded for Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Which would have been insane if that had happened. As a fan of chaos, I was hoping that would happen before the game because we'll never see that again.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think that the Rams would win that trade.
I think the Rams would. No, I don't think the Rams would win that trade.
It'd be very funny, though, if...
You almost got me.
You don't think like Sam Darnold's good. He's
Matthew
just good
Stafford's really good.
Matthew Stafford's also pretty old.
That's true.
And Sam Darnold's pretty young.
But the Vikings are trying to win right now.
It would have been very, I don't know, trading Matthew Stafford to a different team and think he's going to win a Super Bowl. I don't know if that's going to happen.
Well, and also the Vikings have J.J. McCarthy, so you're like, hey, we'll have Matthew Stafford for 2 years. J.J. McCarthy, back him up.
It would have been very funny though to trade Matthew Stafford to another team. He wins a Super Bowl there, and then the Rams have a good quarterback that they can build with again.
Yes, again. But yeah, the Rams, I don't know, man. Next week they play at the Seahawks. That will be a massive, massive game because as crazy as the Rams, or as bad as the Rams' start to the season looked, and they had so many injuries, they're 3-4 right now, and the Cardinals are 3-4, and the Niners are 3-4, and the Seahawks are at the top of the NFC West at 4-3. Like, I don't know. They're my pinky team. They're at the Seahawks, Dolphins at home, and then at the Patriots.
They could win all 3 of those.
That could be 2-1. That could be 3-0. Like I don't know. They just look different when you have those 2 guys out there. Puka was everywhere tonight. I feel like Cooper Kupp didn't even really get going. Of course, we were sitting there watching the game, and they were trying to, salt the game away, and it was run. And then I said out loud in the gambling cave, I'm like, this is just going to be a perfect pass that's ridiculous to Cooper Kupp somewhere on the field, and that's exactly what happened.
And right after that pass, I don't know if you saw this, but Matthew Stafford gave him a point, and it looked to me like Matthew Stafford was saying, that was awesome, I got you, buddy, almost like that's our last one that we're going to have together.
Oh,
that's
okay.
That's what it looked like to me.
That's you're reading the body language?
It was like me and you, we did it again.
But why would they sell if they're...
What a ride.
If they're... I mean, I guess you got to see what happens next week with the Seahawks game, but why would they? They're in it.
Yeah, now they're in it.
They're tied for second right now in the NFC West.
They're definitely in it. Like they are right in the thick of it. And with those 3 games coming up, they could be 6-4.
Yeah, and as for the Vikings,
and also maybe it's good that they got injured early.
Yeah,
they get healthy like the Ravens used to do. You get banged up, and then you get all your guys back.
And I mean, Stafford is still incredible. I mean, he missed that one throw to Tutu Atwell, but then he just followed up with a dime to Jamarcus Robinson. He had 4 touchdowns tonight. He's still got it.
As good as the Vikings receivers are, I think that the Rams, their receivers are that good in terms of how fun their names are to say.
Yeah.
Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, Tutu Atwell.
Even Demarcus Robinson, because Marcus Robinson would be a very that's a normal, but he threw on a D in front.
Yep.
As for the Vikings, 5-0 to 5-2, not a panic, but especially because they have the Colts and the Jaguars coming up, feels like those are get right games for them, and the Titans. Oh wow, they play the Colts, Jaguars, and Titans.
They play the best parts of the AFC South to play.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So it's not a panic. It's just you played the Lions last week, and then you're slotted to lose after that.
The only panic is that their tackles hurt.
Yeah.
So Darisaw went out. I think it was a knee injury. It didn't look good.
No, it did not. And it also was in those situations where you don't want to second guess, but you're on your own 5-yard line with 30 seconds left in the half.
Yeah.
Maybe just kneel it out. I know that you can never be like hindsight's 20/20 there, obviously, but
I think we should completely flip to being hindsight guys.
Yeah.
Like Todd Bowles is an idiot.
That was egregious by Kevin O'Connell to not kneel the ball.
Him and Todd Bowles should be banished to the 5th circle of hell.
Yeah. We're just always right.
Yeah. Like everybody knew he should be out. They should take it that knee.
Me, I never would have done that.
No.
Also, Justin Jefferson just continues to be the most ridiculous receiver ever because that catch he made along the sidelines was, You said it exactly what we all were thinking. It's like I wish the Rams had challenged it just so we could watch it more.
Yeah. Sean McVay, come on, do us all a favor. We would have been able to see that replay probably 4 more times on TV.
Yeah.
In real time. Also, credit to the Vikings for getting their asses up to the line. Because
Yeah.
I feel like McVay would have challenged it.
Yeah.
But that was the fastest I've ever seen a team get up to the line and snap the next ball.
Yeah.
But that was a ridiculous catch. Jefferson had a million catches, no matter if you had one guy on him or if you were double teaming him. He just gets open.
Yeah.
He is always open.
Yeah.
And he's always open wearing that sick ass chain that he's got that's probably worth like $1 million.
Yeah.
And he brings it on the field.
I think the one thing, the injury, obviously the offensive line, but the Vikings couldn't run the ball tonight. That was kind of the death of them.
Yeah.
They just couldn't get a consistent run going. It felt like all night, and they kind of need that. And we did find out the answer. The Vikings, I guess we found it out last week too. We found it out last week too, but like they got to play from ahead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Play for ahead. All right. Anything else before we get into our Week 8 picks and preview?
I got one
Hank,
thing.
are you going to go undefeated as Celtics? You're thinking that
74-8.
74-8 is what you're calling it. Anything from Banner Night?
Are the Celtics good or did they just play the Wizards?
I mean, 2 games, 2 blowouts. Starters haven't even played in the fourth quarter, basically.
Anything from Banner Night? Because obviously we taped early on Tuesday.
Banner night was a dream.
Was it so you were asleep?
No, it was a lot of fun. Tears were shed, very emotional.
You cried?
I shed a tear.
I love that.
All
Why
the
not?
other players, I think Tatum and
all the other guys on the team.
Well, they were crying. It's like you see other people crying, you're like, damn, that's awesome.
Yeah. You're like, damn, I got to go back to work tomorrow.
Yeah. So that's it? Did you get to see Coach?
No, I was across. So we didn't really cross paths.
Did you lock eyes?
No, he didn't. He didn't see me.
Shit. Not even eyes?
Not even eyes.
Did Dave get a good pop when he was on the Jumbotron?
Dave did get a good pop.
There
Kai
was some
Cenat
fake
was there.
news out
Yeah.
there.
I heard different on TikTok.
Yeah,
That
they said
one
he was
girl.
boom. They definitely didn't boom. They showed Kai Cenat, who's like a biggest Twitch streamer, and it was like kind of and I guess he's a Knicks fan, but it was like real life versus internet life. Like no one even reacted, and they showed Dave right after, and everyone started cheering.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that I don't believe that woman who made one TikTok was like, we booed Dave Portnoy
Yeah.
in Boston.
It's Boston.
Yeah, I don't think that happened.
They're saying pizza review.
All right, so what was your one other thing, PFT?
There's a new study that came out. I don't know if you saw this on The Athletic,
Okay.
a nutrition study in the NFL.
Okay.
They did a survey to find out which teams ate the most Uncrustables.
Oh, yeah, I did see
Because
this.
every team, apparently the NFL goes through at least 80,000 Uncrustables per year.
That's
Giving
incredible.
them to teams, which, I mean, Uncrustable, it is the perfect snack.
We might be up there.
Yeah.
Our office goes through, how many are in a box?
I think
20?
8.
No,
big-
we get the big
The
boxes.
big ones, I don't know how many are in that one, but
I still think it's 8. They'll be opened and then like on fresh Uncrustable day and they're gone in an hour.
yeah.
We should see. All right, so what
for
was
a
the
while,
record?
I ate probably, I think 2 a day for lunch. It's just the perfect snack.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
awesome.
So what was the record?
All right, so teams eat 80,000 in total per year, and then they broke it down weekly by the teams that eat the most and the teams that eat the least. Team that eats the least amount of Uncrustables, New Orleans Saints.
Oh, wow.
That checks out.
Yep.
Team that eats the most, and by the way, the Saints eat 50 Uncrustables a week, so that's not even one per person.
Yeah, that's lightweight.
That's the ramifications of being cap hell.
Okay.
And then the team that eats the most, the Denver Broncos.
Okay.
They eat 700 Uncrustables a week.
And how many weeks? Is it the whole season?
700 per week.
For the season or the year?
I don't know. They eat, I think, for the season.
Okay, you know what I'm
In
saying.
season,
Not
yeah,
52 weeks, but
Right, because I think the facility's probably
Yeah,
shut
yeah.
down at times. But 700 a week is a lot, and maybe that's why they're playing so well.
I'm asking that because I kind of want to see if we can break the record.
I think that we go through.
The only thing that's stopping us is that we just run out of them. Like if
that's true.
if I was like, we will never run out of Uncrustables, how many Uncrustables do you think this office would eat a week?
I personally would put away, I'd say 20 a week.
Okay. I mean, there's like what?
I could do
7
20.
There's 70 people here. I think we could easily put away like 400, 500 a week.
So that would put us in second place in the NFL. That's how much the Denver Broncos love Uncrustables. Second place is the Seahawks, and they're down at 320.
All right, so next week, starting on Monday, I will make sure that we do not run out of Uncrustables at all for the week, and we'll keep track.
Yeah.
For this office, I'll send out an email. I'll be like, we're doing a study. Eat as many Uncrustables as you want. We will not run out, and we'll just see where we land.
I predict we're going to be in the 1,000 range. No joke. I actually do. It's because
so I go look for them, and the only reason I don't eat them is because they're not there.
Yeah.
Like we'll run out all the time.
Yeah, but when they're there,
do you always?
And I'm
eat
in the kitchen. I'm about to order lunch, and I see I'm like, fuck. I'm just gonna have 2 Uncrustables.
All right, so yeah, well, that will be my promise to this office next week, starting Monday. We're gonna do just Uncrustable week, where it's like eat as many as you want. Don't feel bad. Don't force yourself to eat them. Don't take any home. Although they probably take some home.
You think so?
They probably take some in the car ride.
You think Bo Nix is like putting them in his backpack?
Yeah, for sure.
They do love white corners. That's what the bread is.
Do you think? Well, no corners.
But it's white.
Yeah.
White edges.
Yeah. Do you think that maybe that's what Sean Payton fell in love with when Bo Nix opened up his backpack? It was just full of Uncrustables.
You ever seen Pulp Fiction with a briefcase?
Yeah.
That's Bo Nix's backpack.
Yeah.
It was just filled with Uncrustables. He probably takes them home. Peyton, I can imagine Peyton is a guy that during football season, he doesn't eat any actual meals.
Yeah.
He just snacks. He just eats Uncrustables all day.
Do you have to refrigerate Uncrustables, or we just do that?
You probably should.
Definitely have to. And I've already texted our office manager and said we're going to need all of the Uncrustables.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go to
starting
Costco. I'll
Monday.
just buy them myself.
Yeah.
I'll bring the boom.
I think it's going to be easily 1,000 Uncrustables.
Oh, I'm excited for Uncrustables.
But we need to make it clear that this is not. Don't try to gorge yourself.
Yeah.
On Uncrustables.
Eat what? Just if you are hungry and you're like, what am I going to eat? And there's an Uncrustable there, eat the Uncrustable. But don't be like, I have to try to break a record.
And I actually think you could lose weight eating Uncrustables.
I agree.
Peanut butter's got tons of protein in it.
Yep.
Bread is the biggest part of the food pyramid, which is really, really healthy and scientific.
Do you know what we need to get? Because here's the other thing
Grape,
that's holding
purple,
us down.
vegetables probably.
Is I think part of it is that our refrigerators in the kitchen
Not big enough.
They're not big enough, and they're also like you have to look underneath. We need to get an Uncrustable refrigerator that's just sitting on top of the counter, that's just stacked with Uncrustables.
Yeah.
Or you just get rid of Hank's pinball machine and just make that the Uncrustable.
Oh yeah,
That's not
that's
a bad
good
idea.
call.
I'm looking
My
at
pinball machine.
I was hoping that the weather was going to be a little bit colder next week because we could just leave them outside.
Yeah, but no, what we'll do is we'll just take them out of the box and we'll just be like, this is the Uncrustable fridge, and it just has only Uncrustables in it, and just eat as many as you want. We're going for records.
They had a great quote from the inventor of the Uncrustable. His name's Len Kretschmann.
Okay.
He said, we're not recreating the atomic bomb here. We're trying to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Love it.
Fucking nailed it.
Love it.
Like that guy knows his product.
He did it. He
Yeah.
did it. All right, let's get to our Week 8 picks and preview, and then we have an incredible interview with Jon Gruden. Okay, before we get to Week 8 picks and preview, football season is here, and we can't wait to get out to some games this fall with the help of Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. You know how much we love Game Time. Now with their brand new Game Time Picks feature, they're making it even easier to get to a game. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Monday Night Football, Giants at Steelers. Jersey Jerry will be in the building. If you want to go to that game, PFT.
I'm looking at $97 to get in right now for Monday Night Football. That's
For
a pretty
Russie?
good deal. Acrisure.
Acrisure. So that's an amazing deal on Game Time. You hit the Game Time Picks deal for great seats. Just pull up your chosen event, turn on the GT Picks setting at the top of the screen, or browse the best local Game Time Picks deals near you on your Game Time app homepage. What are you waiting for? If you want to try to sit near Jersey Jerry, I think he's going to sit in the end zone, row 1. I don't know which end zone.
I'm looking at like $150 for end zone seats right now. Oh, and super deal. We got a super deal
Nice.
on Game Time. $203 for club seating.
Ooh, okay. So Game Time has all those deals. Download the Game Time app today. Use code PMT to easily score great deals with the new Game Time Picks. What time is it? Game Time. We're also brought to you by ourselves at Pardon My Cheesesteak. It's football season. It's cheesesteak season. Football's back in full gear. Pardon My Cheesesteak brings you awesome cheesesteaks, loaded fries delivered right to your doorstep, and will be offering free delivery throughout the entire football season. Take your pick of delicious cheesesteaks made with fresh, thinly sliced steak, melted provolone, mouth-watering cheese sauce, and caramelized onions on a toasted hoagie roll. We have classic cheesesteaks, chipotle cheesesteaks, chicken cheesesteaks, buffalo chicken cheesesteaks, and many, many more. You can order the Big Cat Combo and get your cheesesteak of choice, fries, and a drink. Find Pardon My Cheesesteak near you and order yours now at pardonmycheesesteak.com. Use code AWL for free delivery. Okay, boys, week 8, no buys.
No buys at all. That's a weird time to not have buys. I remember distinctly over the course of my many years playing fantasy football that I would always draft players like everyone would have a bye in week 8.
Yeah.
Everyone. Why do we not have a bye in week 8 this year?
I don't know. It kind of pisses me off. Not that I'm upset about more football, but the amount of games. I'm mad because they did the 2 Monday night games last week.
Yeah.
This would be the perfect week to do 2 Monday night games.
Agreed.
You now have given us, I think it's, what's the split this week? Is it 8 and 5?
I'm not sure what the split is.
I think it's 8 and 5.
We don't have international games either.
Right. So I think it's 8 early, 5 late, which it's going to be a chaotic day. You're going to have to lock in. You're going to have to make sure you get some sleep on Saturday night. 8 and 5 is a lot, but we got some great games, and we're going to get through our week 8 picks and preview. Let's start with the Philadelphia Eagles going to the Cincinnati Bengals. We mentioned this on Monday's show, but it's a very weird scheduling quirk that both these teams played the Browns and the Giants as their last 2 opponents.
Yeah.
And the Eagles are now going to Cincinnati. The Bengals, I believe, are still in must-win territory. They have to win everything.
They're in must-win season.
Must-win season. Fun, weird stat by the Eagles. The Eagles have not scored a single point in the first quarter this season.
Yeah, they don't get off to good starts. I got a fun fact, maybe the fun fact of the week for this game.
Okay.
2 out of the last 4 times these 2 teams have played each other, they've tied.
Donovan McNabb tied.
Yeah, that's one of them where he didn't know that the game could end in a tie. Mm-hmm. This is big tie energy this week.
I would agree with that.
What are the odds if you bet a tie?
Usually pretty high.
Yeah.
10 to 1.
Might have to sprinkle
15 to 1.
Yeah.
But this one should probably be like 2 to 1.
Yeah.
On DraftKings because it's got big tie energy.
Cincinnati hasn't won at home this year.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
We also have Joe Burrow. We talk about Lamar Jackson versus the NFC. Joe Burrow, sneaky putting together a nice resume against the NFC. So in his last 11 games against the NFC, he's 10-1 straight up. Pretty nice.
That's pretty good, yeah.
He's 10-1 straight up in his last 11 games versus the NFC. I have a question for you, Max. First, let's vibe check. Must win?
3-way money line is a draw. That's a tie, right?
Yeah.
60 to 1.
60 to 1?
Plus 6,000.
Oh. Wait.
Yeah. Plus 6, 60 to 1.
Okay. I was way off. Yeah, that's the best value on the board.
I think halftime tie is usually 10 to 1.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay, that's what I was
And
thinking
overtime is a different one too, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Max, general vibe check.
We beat the Giants, so I'm a little bit more excited than I was the week before, but it's still the Giants. If we win this one, though, I'm all the way back.
Okay.
If we win this one, I'm thinking soupy.
And you got we're back in soupy.
I love that.
Hank, why are you
but if we lose this,
Max, did you hear that? Hank just laughed at you when you said it.
But
I know he doesn't think that.
No,
Hank, the Eagles are a good team. Why are you laughing at him?
Because he doesn't think that.
Yeah, he doesn't think that. He's just trying to. He's trying to boast himself up. Like
that was fake. That was fake as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was fake.
You're not thinking soupy.
No, I still have my doubts with this team. Last week they looked really good. If they looked really good again this week, I could see myself getting excited. But right now I'm still not excited for this team, which is kind of they're 4-2, coming off a big win. They beat the Packers, who everyone says is a Super Bowl contender. I should be more optimistic, but I'm not, and I kind of feel like that's the way that most of Philadelphia feels about this team. And if they lose to the Bengals, it's right back to Fire Sirianni, I think, and the Philly fans. If they beat the Bengals, I think most fans will be like, all right, maybe this Sirianni guy's figuring it out.
Yeah, maybe this is actually going to work out this week. Or
Yeah,
this
I
season.
mean, that's just kind of how it's a week-to-week league.
Yeah,
It's a week-to-week league.
You're game-to-game status in terms of confidence in the Eagles. Yeah.
Well, you've won back-to-back games, which is good. That's the first step.
Against the
Correct.
Browns
And
and the
it's
Giants.
been a long time since you guys
Same
have
with the
done that.
Bengals.
Yeah, so, I mean, it could be worse. It could be the Cardinals. And I guess we'll get to them later. And it's you know how long it's been now since the Cardinals have won back-to-back games?
Forever.
It's now 3 years.
Damn.
Yeah, it's been 3 years. So
Yeah.
as long as we think that it is for the Eagles, it was November. And that feels like an eternity.
Yeah. No, it's not good.
But it could be good.
But it could be good.
It could be good. Could
Yeah.
be good.
Yeah, so
it could
it's not
be bad.
good, but it could be good.
Yeah,
it could be really bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's high-level analysis. I have a question for you, Max. I saw an insane stat on X from Brendan Deeg. He said Lane Johnson is the only offensive tackle in the league with a minimum of 100 pass blocking snaps to allow less than 5 pressures this season. So of all the offensive tackles who've had 100 pass blocking snaps, he's the only one to allow less than 5 pressures this season. He's only allowed 1 single pressure. And it got me thinking, is Lane Johnson on the Mount Rushmore of Eagles?
For sure. Because he won a Super Bowl.
So who's on the Mount Rushmore of Eagles? Westbrook?
No. We had this discussion yesterday.
Reggie White?
Reggie White for sure.
Kelsey?
Brian Dawkins.
Yeah.
T.O.
Not T.O.
McNabb?
Freddie Mitchell.
McNabb, maybe.
But Lane Johnson deserves more credit for being maybe the best right tackle of all time. He's the best right tackle in football right now. What?
Kelsey.
Kelsey,
Maybe?
If I had to pick, I would say Reggie White, Brian Dawkins, Lane Johnson, Jason Kelsey.
Okay.
If I were able to pick my guys.
Would that be the only franchise that wouldn't have a single quarterback on there?
Yeah, I mean, I probably would put Nick Foles ahead of Donovan McNabb. You look like that little meme, baby.
Yeah.
You don't think
Sid
McMahon's on there?
Luckman? No.
Okay.
I mean, it would be like Buckus,
Yeah.
Walter Payton, Urlacher, Dicka. I mean, Gale Sayers. There's no quarterback.
We've had some decent quarterbacks, but I just like the other guy. Those other guys are just legends.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just thinking about it. Like, that stat is insane that there's been no offensive tackle in the league that has allowed less than 5 pressures, and he's only allowed 1. He has just been so consistently incredible at his job for such a long time now that I think it's because he plays right tackle and not left tackle that people don't give him credit. But he is, I mean, he's a Hall of Famer, and he is just, it's crazy. Like, the job of an offensive lineman, if you're a peak great offensive lineman, the job is that you just never talk about them. But we should talk more about Lane Johnson because he is so great.
And he's so instrumental in determining whether or not you guys win.
Yeah.
That's the thing about it. Like, his win-loss record is incredible.
Yeah. I mean, Jason Kelsey was great. Jason Kelsey would probably tell you that Lane Johnson was more important than Jason Kelsey.
I think he has said that before.
Right.
Yeah,
so that tells you everything. He's incredible. Who are you more nervous about, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, or Yoshi?
I think Jamar Chase.
Okay. It could have been Yoshi. Could have been Yoshi.
I like Yoshi.
Yoshi's a beast.
If Yoshi's name wasn't Yoshi, would we be having this?
Probably not.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. But,
he was born in Japan. That's kind of cool.
The thing is, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation, but we should be having this conversation if his name wasn't Yoshi.
Yeah.
Here's the
Because
thing.
he is playing really well.
And you will know, like, he's had a couple games. He has Yoshi games where he just has 2 touchdowns. You're like, God damn it. I can deal with Jamar Chase beating me, but Yoshi beating me.
Yeah, no, the Eagles are going to have to score a lot of points in this game, I think.
And probably hold them to less points.
Yeah, but I think they're also going to score a lot of points. So if we are able to figure out a way that we can score more points than them, then I think that we're in a pretty good spot.
So just limiting how many points they do score.
And
because
maximizing it as much as we can.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
How do you plan on doing that? Wanting it more.
Yep. A.J. Brown, I guess just when in doubt, just throw a deep ball to A.J. Brown and just pound the rock with Saquon.
Okay. Last question for you. How much does Joel Embiid being investigated affect the Eagles?
That means nothing.
What do you mean?
That's
It's an
just-
investigation.
The Sixers are being you said this to me. The Sixers are being investigated.
Joel Embiid's being investigated.
The Sixers
Is he on the Sixers?
The Sixers management is being investigated.
Okay. About Joel Embiid.
About Joel Embiid.
He's going to have to be deposed.
because they are trying to stop load management in the NBA, and the Sixers are just saying, "Fuck it, we'll pay the fine. We're still going to do load management."
I love that the first game of the season for you guys, it's like investigation. Joel Embiid is missing a game. There must be something weird going on.
The
'cause
NBA is
Joel
obsessed with the Sixers.
Because Joel
That's
Embiid
why.
Last
doesn't
question.
miss
Nope.
games.
Where
Nothing
is your
from Hank.
heart?
Where's my heart?
Where's the Sixers' heart?
Where's the Sixers' heart? Is it in New Jersey? Is it in
Yeah,
Philadelphia?
I'm
Or
confused.
say,
by
is
that.
there heart in the game?
How
Is
would
that
you
what you're
like me to
asking?
answer this?
Like they just
question?
want to pay the fines. How about you just have some heart and play the games?
It's true.
We're trying to be healthy for the postseason.
What,
No
about,
heart.
what about the kids,
No
though,
heart.
Max? What
We're
about
trying-
what about the kids that spent their hard-earned allowance money to go see their favorite player, Joel Embiid, play on opening night?
They
What about just
they gave
resting during
plenty
the
of time.
offseason, like most professionals?
They wanted to represent his country.
Wanted to
Could
represent his
represent
country.
France.
He wanted
Yeah.
to represent his country of the U.S. of A.
I just think it's interesting.
Hank hates
Opening
America.
night.
That's fine.
It's
I
a
mean, that
ve-
was 2 weeks. It's a long offseason. Did they make the play? They had a long offseason. Will they lose the first round?
U.S. of A. baby.
I'd like to say something that's going to probably end up on the bonk list, but I just want to say it because it's ended up in my algorithm, which hat tip to X.
X.com, the everything
It's
app.
fucking crazy.
I'm curious how we're going to a bonk from here.
Well,
It's
because
all happening on
I
X.
thought of load management, and then there's this woman. This,
Oh,
yeah. All right, so it's not me that's just horny. Everyone's gotten in their algorithm. There's this woman who everyone's trying to shame online because she like basically did a video where it's like, hey, remember me? I'm the one who just did a video where I had like 23 dudes run train on me. I'm actually going to up it and I'm going to do 100. So if you want to run train on me, I'm doing 100 guys in a day. And I just wanted to say, hat tip to that woman for raising the bar.
I've not seen this.
You guys have seen it?
How many replies?
British
are there?
woman?
Yeah. She's just like, hey guys, it's me, the 23, whatever it was, however many. She's like, if you want to be part of the next one, I'm doing 100 dudes in a day.
Do you remember
it's
that?
Just like reach for the stars.
She's
remember
like, I
that-
took
that-
down like 40 students and 40 young men, and now I'm going to take down the dads.
Yeah.
You remember that one woman during the World Cup a few years ago that said like she'll suck off everybody that replies to this tweet if like England
Yeah.
wins the World Cup?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm seeing her right now. I went viral for letting 23 guys run a train on me. Next feet, 100 men in a row.
Yeah, and everyone's shaming her. It's like, what? We can't just be ambitious anymore? Are we just stopping ambition in this world? It's sad. Yeah, find it, Max.
Oh, the first reply, Tiffany Gomez.
Oh, what'd she say?
She said, "What in the entire?" And I can't emphasize this enough. Fuck, and then a gross face.
Come on.
Let's not slut shame here.
No, she's up in the game. I'll tell you what. If Joel Embiid had half the heart of this woman, he'd be a champion. That's a fact.
Facts.
This
That's
is
a
a
fact.
great Eagles Bengals preview that we're doing right now.
That's just a fact.
Let's talk about this girl who's getting fucked,
And how it relates to Joel Embiid. Yes.
and which then relates to the Eagles.
Oh,
Correct.
it is. Yeah, it's literally load management.
Yeah.
Like,
Load management.
Where is she putting all this sperm?
That's what I said.
Yeah.
That's why it popped in my head. But either way, maybe Joel Embiid needs to take a page out of this woman's book and just think about, hey, I'm going to keep pushing the limit. Even for Joel Embiid complains about playing back-to-backs. He complains about going mile high. Yeah, go ahead, play the video. It's PG. The explanation is PG.
I went viral for letting 23 guys run a train on me with my friend Bonnie.
I didn't expect
Now,
her to look
the
like
video's
this,
actually out now,
honestly.
so if you want to check that out, you know where to go. But if you want to be a part of the next one, I'm actually doing 100 guys in one day. So head on over to my Twitter to find out how to apply.
Putting your hard hat
Yeah.
on, going to work. I appreciate that. That's a woman that's making 100 guys' days better. Good. Also,
Joel Embiid, take notes, bro.
when you say going viral for having 20 guys fuck me, that's I instantly just think STD.
Yeah, I don't know if I thought STD. I just was like, whoa, that's a lot.
The viral part.
I think you just assume, yeah.
The viral part is what did it for me.
Yeah. Okay, so that was Bengals Eagles. let's do Ravens Browns. We have 16 games to get through, or 15 games to get through.
Speaking of load management, Deshaun Watson's not playing this week.
Deshaun Watson's not playing. Jameis is in. I'm so excited. This is a PSA to everyone out there. You do not know how many Jameis starts we'll get for the rest of our lives, so you embrace the ones that we do have.
Yeah.
Listen, the vibes couldn't be better. I have no idea. I'm just speaking on knowing Jameis and not knowing Deshaun Watson, thankfully. But that locker room has to be so pumped to feel like they have a chance because Jameis is going to take a chance.
Yeah, and also just, you mentioned the vibes, like Deshaun Watson, all-time bad vibes this year.
All-time.
Just, he never smiled. They never had any fun on the field. With Jameis, you're going to be having fun. It's going to be crazy. You don't know what to expect. I don't know what it's like to root for a team where Jameis is the quarterback of that team, but I think that he is the best player in the NFL to be playing for a different team that you don't root for because he makes any game that much more exciting.
Yes.
And I had a thought about Jimmy Haslam earlier. He is like probably the worst owner in the NFL right now. It's like him and Tepper fighting for the crown. Is there any chance that the NFL steps in and makes Jimmy Haslam sell the team? He should sell that team. He should sell the franchise. And I'm not saying that because of like Deshaun Watson and all his legal investigations and all that. That sucked. But we know that the NFL will turn a blind eye to pretty much anything that a player does. And it won't like punish an owner for employing a shitty like human being.
Yeah.
Right? That's pretty common in the NFL. The one thing that owners do not like is when you fuck with their money. Right? And Jimmy Haslam giving Deshaun that guaranteed contract pissed everybody off in the NFL. Like Dan Snyder was a world-class scumbag. They didn't do shit about it until they thought he was withholding money from them. And then they're like, oh, now all of a sudden we care about all this other stuff off the field. I think that there's a chance. I'm not saying it's a high chance, but there is a chance that the other owners turn on Haslam because of what he did with the contract.
Yeah.
And set that precedent. And I hope for Cleveland fans that they get to experience that. He should sell the team as just a fan of the sport.
Yeah.
He's fucked everything up in that town. So I'm rooting for the owners to like turn on him and to kick him out and to get somebody else in there that will actually take care of that franchise.
It's tough though. Think about how hard it was to get Dan Snyder out.
Yeah, but it's when you fuck with their money, that's when they start caring.
I know, but rich guys just like other rich guys, and if he has friends that are other rich guys, I don't know.
Yeah,
I agree with you, but it's harder than. But you know what we could do? Have you guys seen? This is the new. Remember, it used to be the Bucs won the NFC North/Central more recently than the Lions until the Lions. Wait, did the Lions win it last year? Yeah, the Lions won it last year. That was always the meme. The Browns, I think it's the Jaguars, the Titans, and the Oilers have all won it more recently than the Browns.
The Oilers.
The AFC North/Central, because it was the Central and then the North.
Yeah, it's bad.
Start memeing that.
Yeah,
start memeing that all the time.
Put some pressure on this Haslam guy. Get him out of there.
Yeah, we got to put some pressure
for the good of the league. And we've got Ken Dorsey taking over play calling this week.
Ken Dorsey.
I guess he just vibes better with Jameis.
Yeah, I think the Browns are going to be live in this game. I mean, the Ravens are a wagon. The Ravens have looked really unstoppable, their offense at least. Their defense still not the best, and Marlon Humphrey, I think, is out for at least a couple weeks. But, yeah, I think the Browns are going to get, like, it's almost like a one interim head coach bump. They're going to get a quarterback bump here. By the way, I have a couple stats for you. First one is Derrick Henry ranks this season. He's first in rushing yards, first in rush TDs, first in yards per rush, first in rush first downs, first in longest rush, first in scrimmage yards, first in scrimmage TDs.
Still very, very good.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
He's first in everything. Also, Mark Andrews scoring 2 touchdowns on Monday night became the all-time leader in reception touchdowns for the Ravens, which I was like, damn, that's kind of sad that a tight end with 43 touchdown receptions is the all-time receiver in like franchise history. And then kind of similar to the quarterback conversation we just had with the Bears, I was like, let me look this up, and it was very sad.
It's very bad.
And the Giants too. The Giants, Amani Toomer.
So who did he pass? Did he pass
Todd Heap?
Yeah. No, Todd Heap. Yeah, he would be the next guy up. If you look at what the Ravens have done with their wide receivers for the last 15 years, they've just been committed to not ever having a good wide receiver.
Yeah.
Now, Trey Flowers, he is very good.
He is very good. Zay Flowers.
Oh, sorry, Zay Flowers.
Yeah. And then the last stat I had. This is a reminder. Who's going to be in charge of reminders now?
I have the reminder in the. Oh no, never mind. I will.
What was that?
I have the reminder in today for the Hammer the Rams.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Are we hammering the Rams?
So you're the reminder guy?
Are you the reminder guy?
I will be.
Okay, so it sounds like you're the reminder guy. Lamar Jackson in 8 career games on Monday Night Football is 22 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 1,700 passing yards, 681 rushing yards. 22 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. They play Monday Night Football November 25th at the Chargers. Reminder.
The Harbaugh Bowl.
Just take all the overs for Lamar, everything. That's a pretty insane stat.
Yeah.
22 touchdowns, 0 interceptions on Monday Night Football.
Yeah. I'm just excited about Jameis. I'm so pumped.
So pumped for Jameis. Since 2013, this will be the 64th game played by a backup quarterback for the Browns. The most in the NFL over that span by over 15 games.
That's crazy.
It's insane.
Those poor fans. But
Insane.
I feel like Browns fans are going to be excited again.
Yeah,
Right? Like
for at
this
least a game.
Yeah, for at least a game. You're going to get drunk and be happy before the game as opposed to just getting drunk and feeling like you're walking on the Green Mile to your execution going to the stadium.
Is Myles Garrett going to get traded?
I don't know. I feel like Garrett and Crosby are the two names.
Last
that
night
probably should.
Last night, I went to the Out of Order show because I was emceeing it, and a guy sitting next to me just was like, "Hey, Big Cat, have you heard anything about Myles Garrett to the Packers?" And my heart dropped for a second.
That'd be tough.
Yeah.
It'd be also very mean to trade him this close to Halloween because he's probably got his lawn set up with everything, and he's going all out. He's going to have to take those decorations down.
Is the trade deadline? I think is next week though.
Yeah.
I think it might be on Halloween, or it might be the day before.
I thought it was. I thought it was on Election Day.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think trade deadline might be on
NFL
Election
trade
Day.
deadline. Oh yeah, you're right. November 5th, 4 p.m. Eastern. Okay, so yeah, trade him after Halloween. Oh, in the past it was October 31st.
Yeah.
Last thing about the Ravens, as good as they've been, and they've been incredible. Keaton Mitchell just started returning to practice. Remember him?
Yeah.
So that adds another weapon for that offense that has just been rolling over people.
Yeah, Marlon Humphrey. He had didn't he have 2 picks?
He had 2
in the
picks
last
and
game?
then hurt himself.
I thought that Marlon Humphrey, like in every offseason, I assume that he's retired just because of his Twitter account. He tweets X.com. He X's like a retired guy.
Yes.
He's like promoting Ethereum and like all this weird shit. He's out of pocket on Twitter, and I absolutely love the guy. But he's a guy that psychs me out, and I'm like, wait, did he retire or not?
Yeah. What do you got, Hank? You had something? Oh. What did you have, Max? Did you lean in? Okay, I read that wrong. All right. Titans at Lions. I'm going to fucking do it again. I'm going to bet the Titans.
You're addicted.
I didn't last week.
So did you think that they got better by getting rid of Hopkins?
No, I saw a stat. Well, no, I think it's just neutral.
Yeah.
I think DeAndre Hopkins is going to be good for the Chiefs, but it was just neutral.
It is. That's like the classic Titans move too, isn't it? Like they love old wide receivers.
Yeah.
They love old wide receivers that were very, very good for other teams. So if you look at their history, they've signed at the end of their careers Andre Johnson, Randy Moss, Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins, Decker.
T.O.?
I don't think he played for the Titans, but it fits that vibe, right?
T.O. definitely played for the Titans in my brain.
They had
Randy
Decker.
Moss played for the Titans.
I said Randy
Yeah.
Moss, yeah. Eric Moulds. They
Yeah.
love getting old wide receivers that don't do shit for them. They never learn their lesson. You know what? Let me be the first to report. Amari Cooper will play for the Titans at some point at the end of his career.
Yeah, but that's like 10 years from now.
Yeah.
He's still sneaky, kind of young. Yeah, I don't. All right, so here's the case, and I don't know if I'm actually going to do it, but here's just at least the case. The Lions, for the first time in franchise history, are now the odds-on favorites to win the NFC. The Lions are also, this is the first time that they are a double-digit favorite under Dan Campbell. They just came off a very emotional 2 weeks where they killed the Cowboys, beat the Vikings in a back-and-forth shootout. They are now number one in the NFC North. they can beat the Titans with their hand behind their back. I'm not saying that the Lions are going to lose this game. I'm just saying 11.5 is a lot of points because they pay those guys too. Titans' run defense is pretty good, and that's kind of where and then I just fall off a cliff because then if you ask me, like, name one other nice thing about the Titans, I'm like, can't.
I can name one.
it.
Adam Schefter is very close to their general manager because he's starting to just gas up their transactions online. So he's giving credit to them for, I guess they've traded a linebacker and some draft picks and ended up with more draft picks and a better linebacker. So
Okay.
he's like, read between the lines. This is how you build a team right now.
They're building a team the right way.
They might have started tanking. This might be if you're a Titans fan.
Oh, they definitely have. I think Brian Callahan said our roster's going to be picked over.
Yeah, so they're going to build for the future. I do agree with you that it is a lot of points.
It's just a letdown spot of letdown spots. And again, I think the Lions will win the game. I just don't know. Like, if they start a little slow, who knows? 11.5 points. This is stupid. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to hate myself for doing it because the Lions are going to be up 14-0, and then we'll just be like, okay, now that's over.
It feels like Tim Patrick season, right?
Yeah.
Tim Patrick, Allen Robinson.
Yeah. So Jameson Williams suspended, but also was at practice.
Yeah, they're letting the rope down for him, is what Dan Campbell said.
He's got to pull back up.
Yeah, he lost grip of the rope. He had worked his way back up, but we're going to wait here, and that rope's going to be waiting for him.
Yeah. So I don't know if he's playing or not because I think then there was an idea that he was appealing.
I don't think that he was appealing. I think he's.
But he was at practice.
I think he's going to start his suspension this week. I think. Although you made a good point that if he really wants to return fast,
the
2 games would be the ones.
Yeah.
Thursday night.
Providing is there anything about an appeal, Max? They're okay, so they're prepared to not have him. It feels like the suspension was announced and then it was by ESPN, but then the NFL didn't announce it, and it was just the whole thing was kind of weird.
I think he's gonna sit out this week.
All right, I'm assuming he's gonna be out. All right, next up, Cardinals Dolphins. Tua is back, we think. Tyreek Hill said that he wanted to cry. He said he looked great, felt like old times. Me and him connected on a few deep shots today, and that kind of got me feeling good today. I missed that. I missed him. I told him I got to take him and his wife to dinner because I missed him so much. Shit was so beautiful. That shit almost made me cry today. Like, just having him in the lineup, having him call the plays, having him direct the offense, like just hearing his voice. Again, we'll say it. Seems like a really nice guy, but that's a Tim Boyle effect.
Well, yeah.
Tim Boyle's making grown men cry.
Yeah, it feels like it's back to having like a semblance of an actual offense right now.
Yeah.
Which I'm happy for Dolphins fans that you get to watch maybe a more entertaining game. It's going to feel weird seeing Tua out there, though. Every time he gets sacked, I'm going to be like, every time he tucks and runs with the ball, I'm going to be like, be careful, Tua, be careful, Tua.
Yeah.
And it's because we've seen all of his concussions have come in like standalone games.
Yeah, so he should be good, knock on wood, for this game.
Yeah, because it's all eyes aren't on him right now.
No. I like the Dolphins in this game. I think short week for the Cardinals, cross country. You mentioned it. Cardinals haven't won back-to-back games.
So they haven't won 2 weeks in a row in 3 years. They did win technically back-to-back games in like November of that season, but there was a bye week in between.
Oh, that's
so like 2 weeks in a row. It's been November 24th, 2021.
That's crazy.
So Dolphins would be, if we're going on history here, that would be a smart pick. Also, did you notice on Monday Night Football, they had Kyler run the tush push twice in a row? Mm-hmm. Is he the worst quarterback to do a tush push with? Because their play caller was defending that. He's like, we like that play. We're going to keep running it. It didn't work either time.
Yeah, he probably is.
Unless you
Bryce Young.
Yeah, Bryce Young.
Bryce Young would just get. I think he would. There's a chance if he did the tush push, the refs would come and do the pile, and he'd just be dust underneath.
He just crumples into his shoes like when an anvil drops on a cartoon character.
He's in the ground,
and then he starts standing up and makes the accordion sound.
Yeah.
They could have Marvin Harrison Jr. just pick up Kyler and throw him over the line of scrimmage.
That'd be sick.
That would be the better play to run.
Yeah, I like the Dolphins in this game though. My friends at Sports Info Solutions, they have the Dolphins as the second best in terms of pass blocking. The Cardinals are 25th in terms of D-line, and they got injuries. So I think the Dolphins are going to be back. I think this is the week we're going to be like, Dolphins back?
So you remember when they scored 70 points against the Broncos?
Yes.
Last year?
Yes.
Okay, so the Dolphins now have 70 points through their first 6 games. 6 games, 70 points. Last year they did that in 1 game.
Tim Boyle
effect.
Okay, next game. Wait, I lost my notes. I got it. Jets and Patriots. Memes, I'll start with you. Which story do you want to start with? Aaron Rodgers getting another injury added to him in his body, or Aaron Rodgers eating his own boogers?
We'll go injury.
Okay, so Aaron Rodgers has a hamstring injury that has been added to his ankle and knee injuries. I'm going to say it. He might be getting old.
You think he's injury prone?
I think he might be getting old, PFT.
Every injuries happen. He's not that old.
Okay.
He's pretty old.
He literally added a hamstring injury to his ankle and knee injury.
Yeah, he might be old. But
Would you,
and
would
by
you
the
rather
way,
have the same leg have all those injuries, or have them like sprinkled around, like right hamstring, left ankle, right knee?
I think you need him sprinkled. Also, he is that old. He's going to be 41 in a month. Quarterbacks don't. Tom Brady fucked everyone's brain up.
Yeah, I saw Jules say that. He's right.
He said that about he said it about Tom Brady going to the Bucs and Matthew Stafford going to the Rams and being like instant Super Bowl. He fucked up teams being like, we're a quarterback away, we can get the old quarterback. But just the age thing is what has fucked everyone up. Like 41's an old quarterback.
yes, he's old.
Okay.
He's old.
I can't believe we had to
acknowledge
we had to
that
drop
he's
stats
old.
on you of his age.
He's old.
But let's talk about the booger thing, because the Jets have come a long way. Back in the day, they'd have Mark Sanchez, and he would take the boogers out of his nose and then wipe them on Mark Brunell's jacket. Now you've got their quarterback taking his boogers out of his own nose and then swallowing them. What did you think when you saw that?
Aaron said he did not eat it.
Okay.
I saw him eat the booger.
No, he said the other angle will show you that he did not.
Is it a deep fake?
It's a deep fake.
Can I half defend Aaron Rodgers in this? Don't eat your boogers. I don't like when people shame for picking your nose. Everyone picks the fucking nose.
Picking your nose is fine.
Everyone in the world picks their nose. If you don't say if you say you don't pick your nose, you're a fucking liar. It's the same thing as like people who pee in pools. Like, oh, I don't pee in pools. No, you're a liar.
Yeah, picking your nose is fine, but the conversation is like the eating the booger is the part that concerns me.
Yeah. He shouldn't have eaten his booger.
He said he has never eaten a booger.
But we saw him.
Yeah.
We didn't.
It's on camera.
Never has to be a lie.
Yeah,
No.
never's a lie.
When you're a
Never.
kid, everyone has
Everyone eats
tried a
boogers.
booger.
Yeah, hand up. I ate a booger when I was like 5.
Yeah, for sure. But whatever.
The worst thing I'm dealing with now is my son picks his nose and then he just turns to me and says, "Where should I put this?"
On
And
the
I'm
dog.
like, "What do you do? What do you mean? Like it's your booger, dude. You fucking figure it out. I'm not taking it." He'll just like try to hand me his booger.
That is a valid question because you never really know where to put. I just
You
flick
just
it.
flick
You
it,
flick
yeah.
it, and
Yeah,
then
and then it
becomes-
just-
it's someone else's
it
problem.
is where
I
it
get
is.
yelled at for that a lot in my household.
Oh no.
I flick a lot of booger.
It just ends up
Your
on the
girlfriend's
carpet.
getting like her feet stuck in the
Get a napkin.
You need Aaron Rodgers to come clean it up with his mouth. Lawrence
Taylor used to eat boogers on the sub, but for him it was like taking an Adderall.
Yeah.
He would get amped up when Aaron Rodgers
right.
eats a booger. There's nothing there. If anything, he's got like hallucinogens in there.
Yeah, Lawrence Taylor just didn't want to waste any.
Yeah.
So you fired Robert Salah.
Yep.
You added Devontae Adams. You added Hassan Reddick. So this is every week we got to do something for the Jets to be like, hey, it's not the problem here. I have a new thing too. Aaron Rodgers said after the loss to the Steelers that there was a major moment in the team culture finally evolving because Devontae Adams gave a speech that he said was the realest speech he'd heard in a locker room in 20 years.
Yeah, Devontae Adams is now also the coach.
Okay.
Co-coaches.
Okay.
Player, owner, coach, Devontae Adams.
You have to win this game, Memes.
I'm with you. If we win, I'm thinking Soupy.
I love that. I love. What is the new guy though? What does Devontae Adams say that makes it the realest speech ever that Aaron Rodgers has ever heard in his first week with the team?
He probably was like, I heard a lot about how this Jets organization sucked, but now that I'm here, oh my God.
Yeah.
You guys weren't lying.
Yeah, like the realest speech
We got
possible.
no help here. We have to do it just players because the organization isn't going to do shit for us.
The organization, they raised ticket prices, season ticket prices. Woody Johnson this past week. Perfect timing.
Yeah, I think it was 23% last year and now 25% next year.
Yeah, they're in high demand.
Oh.
People just keep going.
Devontae Adams is like, I want to see more Fireman Ed on the Jumbotron. What the fuck is going on with Fireman Ed?
Rodgers did back Fireman Edge, which I respect because I do think the ecosystem needs the super fan. The ecosystem needs a super fan.
Fireman Ed's kind of a fraud. He walked away.
Yeah, no, I know he did, but
I think he was like fighting people because they'd be like, the Jets suck, and then he was just fighting everyone, and then he was like, I just need to step away from this.
No, he stepped away after the butt fumble. He gave up on the franchise.
I heard a story that it was fist fight.
people were like, the Jets suck, and he's like, nuh-uh.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think he gave a statement after the butt fumble. He's like, I'm not coming back. This team is a disgrace. So I agree, though. Like the NFL ecosystem, I do love the super fan. The super fan is important, especially the ones that think they're a part of the team.
Yeah,
I love that about the NFL. I just think that in this case, Fireman Ed, kind of a fraud. You can't just quit and then come back.
Memes, I have something positive.
Memes is right. Memes is right.
Oh, he got in a fight.
According to Wikipedia, which is fact, he retired as a self-proclaimed mascot of the New York Jets, stating he would attend games but not in character.
Oh.
He later explained that confrontations with a small number of Jets fans had ruined the experience for him. Actually, that doesn't necessarily mean fight.
But he also chose the game after the butt fumble to do it.
The question is, did he still go to the games? If he just didn't go in character, I think he's okay.
But he could just say that. He
Yeah.
could just say that I was going to the games when he wasn't.
True. We got to see if we can find him at the games. Quits is Jets unofficial. I love that he quit too, just because again he's unofficial, so he didn't have to quit to anyone.
Yeah, he gave up his salary of $0.
Yeah. Means I have some positive things for you. You ready for it?
Ready.
The Jets' last 4 games, they have played the second. It is all EPA per play. The second best defense, the first best defense, the 11th best defense, the 6th best defense. So they have had a mini gauntlet here in terms of playing against really tough defenses. The Patriots defense is quote unquote soft.
They don't have soft players.
Do you think that there will be a bounce off of Southgate?
It's going to be a bounce. I just don't know which way it's going to go.
Oh.
It's either going to be, a locker room comes together, or the dissension is everywhere and the team gives up and they get blown out.
There was a rumor going around.
It's either going to be a win or a 20-point loss. No, but
what's your prediction? A win or a loss?
I lean towards 20-point loss.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. There's a rumor this week that Jared Mayo was going to be one and done.
Yeah, I've heard that. That's picking up steam.
Incredible
Picking up a lot of steam, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so there was a rumor he was going to get fired this week.
Yeah,
I'm hearing Vrabes.
Hot seat.
Yeah.
Dude, just
Hot
a
seat,
switch.
Gerard Mayo.
Would you like to see that?
Not this week. I think you got to give him the season, but I think
Reading the comments, by the way, under anyone who reports what Kirk says is so funny.
Yeah.
It's great.
yeah, Kirk Minahan reported that they were getting rid of him.
I believe the report. I believe the report. No, he said 48 hours, I believe.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
imminent.
I believe the report.
They're going to fire him right before the game.
Yeah. It could happen at any moment within these 48 hours.
I think that's unfair to Coach Mayo to do this year, but I think it's probably smart to move on after the season.
Someone else had a clip. I saw, maybe it was Simmons posted a clip that was like, it was a clip from 5 years ago that was Kraft being like, yeah, Gerard Mayo's our coach in waiting. That feels like that feels like it explains a lot from the last 5 years.
Yeah.
That you had a guy who was in the building on Belichick's staff who was like, oh yeah, he's anointed. And
the wheels have fallen off. Kraft did the interview with the Breakfast Club. I don't know if we talked about this on Wednesday, but Kraft did the interview with the Breakfast Club. He said that he was the one that fired Belichick. Before that, it had been basically, said to the public that it was a mutual parting of ways.
Which never is.
And that's what opened the floodgates for Belichick to go in on Kraft. And the first 4 weeks, he didn't say much about the Patriots or negative. And then after Kraft said that is when Belichick said it on McAfee show. He went on Brady's podcast to show that it's not a him and Brady thing. So I think the wheels have completely fallen off. I think Belichick's going to keep leaning
Tighten
in
the screws.
on giving his honest opinion on the Patriots, and it's probably going to get it's going to get worse before it gets better. So I lean towards 20-point blowout.
Yeah.
What did the Breakfast Club ask him about getting jerked off?
I don't know. I didn't watch the full interview.
Oh.
I want to know that answer. I'm
Yeah,
sure
I do
they
too.
did.
They had to have.
I doubt it,
Charlemagne definitely
based off
did.
the fact that they were saying everything on the roast of Brady, and once they mentioned that once, that was the only time someone got shut down. So
Yeah, but you can't tell Charlemagne not to ask about the jack-off thing.
No.
I bet you they did.
He would say no deal on the interview. They definitely talked about it off air.
Yeah, probably.
They probably, we're like, hey, what's your favorite spots? This is the first time since 2001-02 season that the Jets have been favored against the Patriots in consecutive games. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That's how long it's been.
dominant.
Means you have to win this game. It might be the most must-win game of your life.
It is the most must-win, and for a regular team, we would easily win this because the past 2 games we played the Patriots, we've had, I think, 7+ sacks each time, and now there's no David Andrews. But it's the Jets, so I have no idea. Realistically, all this hype going into it, as the Jets, we lose this game by like Greg Zuerlein missed field goal, and then that's it.
All this
And then
hype
that's the
going
season.
into it.
Yeah.
All
There's
this
so
hype-
much
all this
hype
hype
into
for the
this
Jets.
matchup.
Now, I do have a stat.
Yeah, this is the game of the week.
I do have a stat in terms of the over-under. The under is 11-2 out of the last 13 times that the Jets have played against AFC East opponents. And the under is 5-0 the last 5 times that the Jets and Patriots have played.
I love the over.
Okay?
I just think the Patriots are an over team now.
Because of Drake May?
And their defense is terrible.
Yeah.
Like they
But-
flipped to an over team, and it's slowly catching up, but it hasn't all the way caught up.
We're going to find out if calling your team soft works, though.
True.
That might be a variable in this. It's like they just called the S word.
Yeah.
And so they might go out there and be like, fuck that, we're hard.
Drake May's going to give him a shot. Hank, you could win this game or lose.
You sure?
Yeah, I think so.
We could tie.
No, you're not going to. This is not a tie game.
Not a tie game.
No.
Definitely
We already
not a tie
have
game.
one tie this weekend.
Yeah. All right, next game, Falcons at Bucs. The Bucs are in their creamsicle jerseys. The Bucs have lost everyone. So they have no Godwin, no Mike Evans. That's not everyone, but it feels like everyone because those guys basically amount for all their catches.
Hey, Bucky time. They're going to go full-time Bucky.
Sterling Shepard time.
I don't know. I don't know who they're going to pass to. I feel like Baker has played on teams that have been like utterly deserted of wide receivers in the past. So I feel like he will. It's not going to be super ugly for the Bucs, but they've been a pretty good offense with their wide receivers playing. They're going to fall back to like middle of the road.
Yeah. This is a huge game. This is a huge game for the division. This is a huge game. These two teams, it does feel like our game, PFT, and this game, you guys could obviously still win your division, but that's going to be kind of the mix-up race for a wild card spot.
Yeah.
So they're important, impactful games.
Yeah, so I would say that there are going to be 3 teams from the NFC North that get into the playoffs.
Correct.
And there could be 4.
Yeah, it's basically if the Bucs, if
because the West sucks.
If someone runs away from the NFC East, if the Eagles or Commanders just like rip off a bunch of wins and the other team dies, and then the Bucs die, then it could feasibly be all 4 teams.
Yeah, which would be wild. So Tampa, they are 1-4 in the creamsicles when they wear those. It still looks cool.
It does look cool, but it also that's not great. That's not great. And not having Mike Evans for the creamsicles feels.
Yeah, when you do a throwback, I mean the jersey itself is going to be cool to look at. I like it when the Bucs wear the creamsicles, but they're throwing back to like the worst era of football ever.
Yeah.
When the Bucs actually wore those week in, week out, they were a very, very bad football team with the exception of 1979.
Yeah.
But besides that, it's like we're doing a throwback to celebrate our worst years as a franchise.
Yeah, I think I lean the Falcons in this game, but I don't know. I can't decide if this is one of those games where it's going to be so easy because it's like, hey, the Bucs have no offense, or everyone thinks that, and the Bucs are like, how'd they do that? Oh, they threw 15 screen passes to Bucky Irving.
Yeah, Bucky's going to eat, and they're going to fire that fucking cannon a few times, which is so funny that the NFL is cracking down on the gun celebrations.
Yeah.
Like you can't pull out a fake shotgun and blast a guy in the face 5 times after sacking him. But then every time you score a touchdown, Raymond James Stadium just lights up like an armory.
Yeah, you can't even flash your gun.
Patriots too.
Yeah, the Patriots, that's right. They actually have guns.
Yeah.
Dudes with guns in the end zone. But if Drake May pulls out, if he just shows a simulated gun in his waistband,
Yeah.
Roger Goodell is going to come at that ass.
What about the Shooter McGavin? Probably can't do that.
I don't think so. You can't even do a bow and arrow
No
celebration.
guns. No guns. Can't do it.
What if you say it was a squirt gun? What if you pump it and you demonstrate it's a super soaker?
That could be a shotgun.
What if you like Joe Horn when he pulled the cell phone out of the goalpost? What if underneath the goalpost you keep like a little orange cap and you put it on the top of your finger so it's clear that it's like a cap gun and it's not real?
I think that could work.
I think
too.
that works. That's what they got to do. Just save a little orange cap and just put it on right after you score.
Yeah, I like that idea a lot.
What if you line up your offensive linemen? I feel like they've probably done this before, but you throw a grenade, fake throw it, and then they all fall.
Grenades are fine.
Grenades are totally fine.
Yeah, grenades are good. But you
Drones are fine too.
can't do a gun.
Yeah, what if you do a drone?
Yeah, what if Joe Horn pulled out that cell phone and he dialed the number and he was simulating that there were pagers on all the opponent's belts that blew up?
Or it's
do
he
that.
pulls out the cell phone. He just shows the camera a video of like a Russian soldier getting drone killed as he gives up, which I somehow see 5 times a day.
Yeah, it's insane, isn't it? That's like the scariest thing ever. A dude just like standing in the middle of the field.
And just be like, please don't kill me, and then the drone just
the drone's
killing
like,
him.
sorry, you're dead.
Yeah, you're dead, buddy. Okay, Packers at Jaguars. Robert Salah has found a temporary home. He is coaching the offense from a defensive perspective.
I love that. And so he's on the sidelines there, which is like taking a picture of your ex's ex on Instagram and posting it just to get. I feel like that was directed at Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
I that's why Robert Salah is in Green Bay.
Yes. That's why probably Matt LaFleur was like, hey, come here. I know exactly what you went through.
Yeah, we can just talk about it.
Yeah. We could just talk shit together.
So it's also a Doug Peterson kind of revenge game because he was a backup quarterback for the Green Bay Packers for a while.
Sure. The Jaguars, I think, are going to get lit up by Jordan Love.
You think so?
Yeah.
I kind of like the Jags this weekend.
Yeah, this is I'm
Not
just
to
not
win.
going to overthink it. Yeah, I'm not going to overthink it. I think the Packers their offenses looked good.
They're a much
Jordan
better
Love looks good.
They're a much better team. It's in Jacksonville. They're on a kind of winning streak.
The Jaguars?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've won one game.
One game.
Yeah.
They could make it a winning streak.
Yeah, they could make it a big winning streak. Okay. Colts at Texans. I don't want to pick on Anthony Richardson, but I have to just share a stat. Anthony Richardson completion percentage this year is 48.5%. What do you think the second worst quarterback? So that's last in the NFL. 48.5% of his passes are being completed. Who's the second worst quarterback, and what's their completion percentage?
Deshaun.
Nope.
Gardner?
Nope. It's Jacoby Brissett.
Oof.
And his completion percentage was 58.5%. So the second worst is 10% better than the worst in Anthony Richardson. And among players with 150-plus attempts in their first 2 seasons in the NFL, these are the lowest completion percentages over the last decade. Bryce Petty, 53.1. Deshaun Kaiser, 53.1. Anthony Richardson, 53.5.
It's not good company to be in.
No. Deshaun Kaiser and Bryce Petty is not good.
I feel like they're going to just they're going to run him until he gets hurt. I think that's the plan for the Colts. It's like we're not going to tell him to slide. We're not going to call plays to protect him. We're going to let him do what he does the best, which is throw it deep and then sometimes run into people.
Yeah. Yeah. Jonathan Taylor will be back too. That will help.
That's a big one, yeah.
The Texans are weird. The Texans are good, but their offense is not good.
They don't feel like they're as dominant as they were in stretches last year, right?
Yeah. No, their offense is like hard to watch, especially without Nico Collins.
And then some of the weird stuff with time management at the end of games.
Yeah.
I know that everyone picked the Texans to go far in the postseason this year, but I haven't seen them stand out. I mean, their record is very good, but I haven't seen them stand out as being like, this is an incredible team that's all put together.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Okay, next game. I'm going to probably end up.
Oh, they got Devin White, though.
They got Devin White.
Devin White, Eagles legend.
The Colts also got DeForest Buckner back, which should
That's big.
His practice window open. I don't know if he's going to play, but that should be huge for the Colts.
Yeah.
Saints at Chargers. Alvin Kamara is playing with a broken hand, and also he got a new contract, which is perfectly Saints.
That's really good. So, the Saints are – your choices right now, if you're in the Saints front office, It's like keep restructuring the guys that you have and giving them like longer terms on their contract and keep kicking the can down the road, which has worked for them in the past. But the difference is right now, those guys are already old.
Yeah.
And so now you're just extending them and making your team older in like 2 years.
Yeah, I think the move they made with Kamara is it saved them $18 million.
Yeah.
Which I don't really understand how that works. They signed him to do a new contract, but they saved money doing it. But yeah, I think that's their only solution now is to just keep doing new contracts to save money and push it down.
On your current players.
Yeah.
So what the Saints might end up doing is just in the next like 10 years have the exact same roster and they're a team of 45-year-old guys.
Yeah.
And they lose every game, but you're not in cap hell.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how they slowly climb out of cap hell.
Which is very relatable.
Yeah.
Which is like, I'll just deal with this problem in 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years might not even happen.
The Chargers have to win this game. They have to win this game.
Yeah.
They have to win this game. I do think they will win this game. I think they can run the ball. The Saints' defense is very, very bad. They're worst in the league in terms of yards per carry against, 5.4 yards per carry. So I feel like the Chargers are going to just be like, we're going to smash this down your throat. But at least the Saints, it does feel like the Saints will be a little bit, they'll look better than they did last Thursday because they're going to get Olave back. They got some offensive linemen back. I just want it to be a better. The Saints are such a bummer to watch. Be a little competitive.
Yeah. Spencer Rattler had some of the most hilarious turnover plays last week.
Yeah.
So I hope we get more of those. The Chargers, they have not scored an offensive touchdown in the second half since week 1. Week 1 was the only time they did that.
They need a wide receiver.
They need somebody that can catch the ball.
They need ball catchers.
Yeah.
Bad. Bills at Seahawks. DK Metcalf, if he doesn't play, I like the Bills.
I would guess that he's not going to play.
I think he's out.
He
got
is
carted
officially
off.
out?
It's a grade 1 MCL. That sounds bad.
That does sound bad.
I'm going to guess that he's not playing.
Yeah,
I know it's questionable.
We got to have DK back on sometime. I'll say it, and we could even tweet this at him. I think DK uses the cart too much.
Well, it's because he did it that one time when he had to shit.
Yeah. Well, every time he goes on the cart is like season-ending injury.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. So when you see someone, I understand, DK, you don't want to walk and you want to get a ride, but you make everyone who's a Seahawks fan, who's a fan of you, which we include everyone in this room, very nervous whenever you get in the cart.
Yeah, I think that it really does go back to the time where he used it when he didn't need to use it.
Yeah.
Unless he had already shit his pants.
Right.
If there was like a brown stain, then I understand that. Or you could just wrap a towel around your waist and duck waddle to the bathroom. That would have been fine too. But since then, it's the boy who cried wolf with the cart. I think in this case, he's probably out. He's week to week, grade 1 MCL sprain. I'm going to guess that he's not playing.
He's missing the next 2 practices, then we'll have his sprain MCL evaluated on Friday.
He also
I think
could be
he's
a
out.
guy who just regenerates. Like he's in that good of shape. If you look at DK Metcalf, where it's like he can just sit and focus really hard on his knee on Friday afternoon and be like, okay, I'm better now.
Yeah.
Bobo time.
Bobo.
JSN.
Bobo. Yeah, this is going to be a fun game. This is a very fun game in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. Panthers and Broncos, Bryce Young.
He's back, baby.
Back.
Andy Dalton got into a car accident, hurt his thumb.
Yeah.
Kind of a weird injury to have in a car accident, but I'm glad that that's all that it was. But this is bad. This is bad for the Panthers for 2 reasons. 1, Bryce Young's going to play quarterback for you. And 2, whatever trade value you think you have for Bryce Young is now up in the air because he could get injured or it's just going to remind everybody how bad Bryce Young is.
Right.
So the longer you go without having to watch Bryce Young, like NFL GMs, they're just like us. If you spend 2 months and you haven't seen Bryce Young play football, you're like, maybe that guy's not that bad.
Yeah.
But now you're going to be reminded about how bad he is.
Yeah, and it's going to be bad because according to Sports Info Solutions, Panthers are the worst team versus the blitz, and the Broncos blitz the second most in the NFL. And also the Panthers have the 31st ranked rushing defense in terms of DVOA. So it's going to be the Broncos running the ball down their throat and then blitzing the fuck out of them. I know this is a big line. I don't know how you could possibly take the Panthers. They're irredeemable.
I don't know either.
They're irredeemable.
I think with 9.5 points.
Yeah, irredeemable.
Yeah, I still like the Broncos.
Yeah.
I think you could probably make it 13.5. The defense last week was just so bad.
So bad.
And their offense, which had been at times not as bad as their defense, was as bad, if not worse, than their defense was.
Yes.
And what I respect about them, in the game against the Commanders, you're getting the shit kicked out of you by Marcus Mariota, and starting in like the second quarter, you just start running the football.
Yeah.
And you're like, we're gonna make this game end as fast as we can.
Running clock.
Yeah.
Okay. Chiefs wrapping up. We got a couple more. Chiefs at Raiders. I wanted to take the Raiders, but then I remembered. Do you guys remember over the summer training camp when the Raiders had that video of Kermit the Frog dressed as Patrick Mahomes? Yeah. And Patrick Mahomes' quote after that was, "Stuff like that happens. It will get handled when it gets handled." Mm-hmm. That feels like it's going to get handled this week.
But the Raiders are also a team that will not let Patrick Mahomes tiptoe along the sidelines and let up on him.
True.
They're gonna finish those plays. I do agree though. That was a crazy move for the Raiders to pull. Crazy with like a new coaching staff coming in. Your quarterbacks are Gardner Minshew and AOC. Why are you doing that? I guess the one thing you can say about the Raiders is they can lean into their team identity being we're the one team that will beat the fuck out of Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
That's really all they have going for them because, I mean, they are a weird team. They beat the Ravens and they lost to the Panthers.
Oh, I have it for you. So
that's how strange the Raiders are.
You ready for this? So this is from Josh Dubow, AP. The Raiders are the last team to beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Christmas 2023. The last team to beat the Ravens, week 2. The only team to lose to the 2024 Panthers, week 3. And the only team to lose to a team coached by Jeff Saturday, week 10, 2022.
Yeah, they're such a weird team.
They're the weirdest team.
They're so weird. I mean, looking back at that Ravens win, it's like, what the fuck happened in that fourth quarter?
Yeah, it was crazy.
But I think that was actually good for the Ravens
to
see that happen to them.
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins is going to be good for the Chiefs. I know that he has not been great this year, but it doesn't matter.
He's still got the hands.
He's still got the hands, and it doesn't really matter. It's just like, this is where the Chiefs are at.
Yeah.
They're going to add him. He's going to be great. He's not like, he doesn't have the explosion that he used to have, beating people deep, but it doesn't matter. You have Xavier Worthy on the outside. DeAndre Hopkins can just catch everything.
He will catch everything. He's still very good. I think we predicted that DeAndre Hopkins would be on the Chiefs in like week 2.
And it's going to work.
Right? It's like it's his destiny to get just like stay in shape by playing on the Titans.
Yeah.
You're still practicing football and catching balls. You're not really competing that much, but you are going to be a Chief and you're going to win the Super Bowl with the Chiefs.
Yes. By the way, Patrick Mahomes has the most interceptions of any QB in the NFL since the start of last season. That's pretty crazy.
That is wild.
22. Sam Howell, 21. Jordan Love, 19. Jalen Hurts, 19.
Do you know what's going on with Max Crosby?
Yeah. Well, he's like maybe getting traded.
He said, yeah, he might get traded. And then he said, I'm a Raider. Let me make this pretty fucking clear. I am a Raider. I want to be a Raider. And his name keeps getting brought up. And they were doing an interview with him the other day. And they said, like, what if Antonio Pierce called you guys soft? And he's kind of like mumbled through it. And then he was like, wait, did he call us soft? And the interviewer was like, yeah, he called you guys soft. And then his reaction, his quote was, I would have a major issue if I was a player, especially another man calling you soft. I mean, those are fighting words. Maybe it worked by Antonio Pierce.
Yeah.
Like if your reaction is that's fighting words, maybe that's the right word to say to you to make you want to fight.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Max Crosby, if he gets traded, that would be someone would get really, really good.
Memes is saying that he backtracked that.
Oh, he backtracked.
Yeah, it was on Jim Gray's podcast.
Okay.
Afterwards.
Jim Gray, again, we've said this before. How the fuck does that guy just have all these like shows with, like, how does he have a show with Tom Brady? He's just
secret commissioner.
They're just boys.
And now
but Jim Gray was
Crosby's on that show.
Jim Gray hasn't done anything in like 20 years, and he still gets like the biggest. Didn't he do the decision?
Yeah, I feel like
it's crazy.
I feel like Jim
and
Gray.
they were talking about it on the podcast. He was the one that interviewed Tyson. Like my back is broken.
Yeah,
Jim Gray might be secretly super, super wealthy.
Did you guys know this is
like
unrelated.
Jim Rome?
Did you know that Joe Buck has been calling NFL games since 1994?
No.
Isn't that crazy?
Was he one of the first Fox guys?
So I saw a clip. It was the 30th anniversary of the longest punt return in NFL history, 103 yards. Because the rule used to not be if it goes in the end zone, it's not immediately dead. Mm-hmm. So it was a Saints-Oilers game, I want to say, and the ball hit the back, basically the back part of the end zone and then bounced forward, and the Oilers guy just picked it up and ran it. So he picked it up in the end zone and ran it. And I was listening, and I was like, is this Joe Buck? And it was Joe Buck from 1994.
And that's a play that will never be, that record won't be broken because of the way that the rule is written right now. Yeah.
Can you play it? I know we can't. Well, no, you could play it. The audio of it.
Say this again. I was looking at Jim Gray. Everything Jim Gray's done. He's done
it's
insane
crazy
things,
and it's nuts. And he's got like, I don't know what his personality is. He's just Jim Gray. It was the longest punt return in NFL history. 1994 Saints Oilers. I was shocked. I felt a little bad that I didn't know that fact, but when I heard it, I was like, is this Jack Buck? How could this be Jack Buck? No, it's Joe Buck.
Let's see.
Is this it?
Yeah.
Tommy Barnhart. Buck kind of got owned on that play call, didn't
Yeah.
he? Like the analyst just took over for him.
Yeah, he
and
took
started
over.
doing play
I
by
think
play.
Joe was just probably confused.
He's probably pissing.
Yeah.
Pissing in a beer bottle.
Crazy, though. 25 years old, calling NFL games.
Very cool.
Nuts.
Also, shout out Jake, who's going to be doing some college basketball stuff, right?
Yes.
Very cool, Jake.
Feast Week.
CBS, Feast
Yes. I love Feast Week so much. Bears and Commanders.
Week. The game.
Is he going to play?
I reported on Monday that he was going to play.
So he's guaranteed play. So what can people do if he doesn't play? To you.
I stand by my reporting.
So if he doesn't play, what can people do?
There could be
you?
a material change, but I stand by my reporting.
He has to play.
He has to play, right? You can find me. You can find me.
I don't think he's playing.
Yeah. Why?
I don't think he's playing either.
Why not?
I just think that it's just our luck.
But he knows how much this game means to us.
I don't know if he does.
He does.
Because he would have already been practicing.
He's doing a little rope-a-dope. The ribs are fine. Look, your ribs are a long way from your heart. That's actually not that true.
No, they're very close.
They're very close.
They actually
to each
protect
other.
your heart.
But he's going to play.
Yes, Max.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Max.
Did you say anything at
I
the
knew this
Out of
is. I
Order live
forgot.
show
I
last
forgot
night?
that Max was there.
Did you say anything at the Out of Order live show last night?
I did not.
Sounds like he did.
Wait, what did he
It
say,
was
Max?
a comedy show.
I'm confused. Was he talking
It was
shit?
a comedy show.
Is he
It was
afraid?
a comedy
is he
show.
afraid to repeat it on the podcast? Is Big Cat a studio gangster?
This is maybe why I texted you guys and asked if you were coming to the show, and then I forgot Max was there. Because remember, I texted you guys. I went up. Nick, our good friend Nick, I knew he was going to do this to me. I thought of it as I was walking out. I was like, "Fuck, Max was there." As I was walking, Nick was saying some unkind things to Caleb Williams. I was emceeing, so fights went first. Introduced fights. Introduced Nick. Nick said some unkind things to Caleb Williams. I went up and I was like, hey guys, Caleb Williams is so fucking good. Like, he's going to change all of our lives. And then I might have said, because PFT's not here, I think Caleb Williams is way better than Jayden Daniels. But that was off. That was off air.
I'm just curious. Off air.
Yeah, it was off air.
Delete this part
Yeah,
from the
this is
podcast.
all- this is
Yeah,
all-
it was off air.
So I'm
air.
declaring this is off air too. How
Yeah.
many rookie of the weeks has Caleb?
I don't listen. I didn't. I just said.
How many?
I said what I said.
Can we look that up?
Yeah, Rookie of the Week is an award I do not care
Rookie of the
about.
week. I'm just curious.
Off air, I had to say what I thought.
Well, we'll find out, won't we?
Yeah, I don't care about Rookie of the Weeks. How many touchdown throws?
No, I'm
does
saying
Jayden Daniels
we'll
have?
find out.
How many touchdown
How many
throws does
overall touchdowns does Caleb have?
I think more than Jayden Daniels.
Well, he played against the Jaguars.
Oh, you played against the Panthers. Oh, he got hurt because he can't.
No, he
stay
didn't
in the
get any
game.
touchdowns in
He
that
can't,
game.
Yeah, because he got hurt.
So actually, Caleb's played more games than Jayden.
His,
5?
The best ability is availability.
Well, he's also.
And how has he played? How has he
many
played
is
more?
one- wait, we're
how's
counting 1, 2, 3. He only has 3. I thought he had more than that. Oh,
How has he
4,
played?
5. Does he have 5 rookie of the weeks?
I have a question. How has
That's pretty good.
How has Caleb Williams played more games than Jayden Daniels when the Commanders haven't had a bye?
Oh, we did last week against the.
So they played the exact same amount of games.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. But Jaden's different.
That's fine.
Jaden's
I love
different.
my guy.
Jaden's different. Monday night.
I also knew Max was in the crowd, and I knew he was going to bring this up.
What's Caleb's
But it's good
record
for
in-
the show.
What's his record in primetime?
I 0-1. I don't care. These are. I don't give a fuck about Rookie of the Week. I don't give a fuck about record in primetime. I give a fuck about how I feel. I think Caleb Williams is really good.
Record in primetime is pretty important.
No, I don't
All
give a
eyes
fuck.
on you under
One
the
game.
lights.
You're gonna make it to the playoffs.
That's a 1 game sample size.
You had
And we actually don't have a lot of primetime.
Big Cat, who
games,
did
so
you
we're
bet
good.
on to be MVP this year?
I didn't actually make the bet because remember he went from 22-1 to 10-1 to then 18-1 and they lost, and I was like, well, I missed that.
All right, so it was Joe Burrow though.
I was saying at the time that if you thought the Bengals could beat the Ravens, you should bet on Joe Burrow to be MVP. They didn't beat the Ravens.
But you've been saying he's been playing at an MVP level.
He was, yeah.
So when he beat him in his own house,
Does Jayden Daniels play against Joe Burrow?
he did.
He played against Joe Burrow was playing cornerback against Jayden Daniels.
He outscored
the
Joe Burrow.
24th defense in the league.
Well, we didn't really have a defense out there, and the Bengals didn't really have a defense out there. But Jayden had more points than Joe Burrow.
Right, but Joe
prime
Burrow
time.
was playing defense against Jayden Daniels.
Basically, yeah, he could have if Joe Burrow had scored more points than Jayden.
Hey,
that
listen,
would be kind of playing defense.
I hope Jayden Daniels plays. I hope he's not a pussy about it.
I hope he plays too.
He better. You said he was going to play.
I reported. I didn't say. I reported that Jayden Daniels, which is more than saying it.
I want him to play.
So it's a tattoo bet.
Yeah.
If Jayden plays.
No, I think no matter what.
So when we talked about like what the most hilarious outcome in terms of
last year was the worst game ever
in terms of ratings for the podcast, which is why we want.
If you lose to Marcus Mariota, you need to get like a lay.
That's what I'm saying. If you should get the Polynesian like shoulder tattoo.
No, I choose. If I lose, I'm going to choose my own tattoo, but I'll honor it with or without Jayden Daniels. If you want it, it's because you're the one who got the tattoo last year because the Bears beat the Commanders. So
beat the fuck out of them. Yeah,
I will whatever the. If you want to call it off for Marcus Mariota, I'm happy to do that.
No,
I don't care.
I'm not going to call it off.
Okay.
Because I believe in my guys.
Okay.
I believe in my guys. Now, you don't – Dick Butkus passed away like right before the game last year.
Yeah, Mike Ditka's pretty old.
That felt – oh, my God. I didn't even think about Mike Ditka.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, okay, the bet's off. If Mike Ditka passes – that's my one stipulation. If he passes away within 1 hour of kickoff.
All right, 1 hour.
Like Sunday morning, whatever.
It's between 10 and 12. No. His kickoff is 3:25 Central Time.
If he passes away during the early slate of games.
Second half. That's like an hour and a half, 2 hour window.
Second quarter counts.
No, under the 2 minute warning, there has to be at least one game over the 2 minute warning.
Okay, deal. Then the bet's off. But otherwise,
every game it starts when every game is under the 2 minute warning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, last year I bet on Sam Howell.
Yeah, if there's one,
so I will honor the
Justin
bet.
Fields.
I will honor the bet with Marcus Mariota.
And the Bears were 0-4, I believe, at the time. 1-3. Bad. It
was a bad game. You guys played really well.
Bad game.
But yeah, me and Big Cat will have Mark's. It's like I'll have a tapestry. That's what they used to do back in medieval times to like commemorate everything that happened in their history. It's like, oh, here's a painting of us losing this one battle.
Yeah,
that's what our
tell the story.
That's what our bodies are.
The story of this rivalry that everyone talks about. This famous Bears Commanders rivalry.
Yeah. Listen,
are you feeling good?
I think
it's hard to judge this game because we just don't know if he's playing.
I want you to be happy, Big Cat, and I want Caleb Williams to be a good quarterback. But to say that he's had a better year,
that's
than
not what I
Daniels,
said. That's not what I said.
Hold
on. That is not what I said.
That's not what he said. That's
not what I said.
No, bro, you're going to be good. Right?
That's not what I said. You're changing, and that makes me think that you're scared that you're saying you're changing the words to this year. That's not what I said. I did not say Caleb Williams has played better than Jayden Daniels this year. That is unequively not what I said.
What did you say?
I said, I think Caleb Williams is better than Jayden Daniels going forward.
But how can you say that when Jayden is clearly a better player?
Because that's just what I think going forward.
I think if you're...
That's not a crazy thing to say.
You're saying, I hope that one day Caleb will be better than Jayden.
I think that Caleb Williams going forward is going to be the better quarterback. I did not say anything about this year. So you could do the Rookie of the Weeks, but that is irrelevant to me because I'm talking about the future.
You're talking about what hasn't happened yet.
I'm talking about the future.
You're talking about what you hope is going to happen.
What do we do on this show? Talk about what hasn't happened.
I like
this is the whole preview.
There's one thing about me. I like to live in reality.
Yeah.
Jayden
Max
Daniels.
is trying to change what I said.
I never said
or actually,
that.
PFT
he's the one who
because you want to go with the Rookie of the Week.
I wasn't there. I don't know what you said.
No, I never said that. I never said he's better than him this year.
No, he just said that I think he's a better quarterback.
He's going to be a better quarterback.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a better quarterback.
Did he say going to be?
I think
or
I
did
said
he say
going to
is
be
better.
because I said he's going to be awesome. He's going to change our lives. He's going to be a better quarterback.
There's tapes. We could check the
Yeah,
tapes.
let's check the tapes.
We could check the
great.
tapes.
Going to
Let's
be
do
is
it.
different than it's different than is better.
I did not say is. I did not talk about this year. I said I was talking future. I was saying this is going to change our lives.
Put a poll out.
I could actually I could text
All right.
someone and try and get the actual clip.
I would like-
But all right,
like to
so
see the
if I
footage.
said I don't think I said this year, but my whole point was that he's going to be better because that's what I've been saying the whole time is that I'm very confident in Caleb Williams.
I think he's going to be a very good quarterback. I think that Jayden Daniels is different. He is awesome. I love him.
So you think Jayden Daniels is like that much better than Caleb Williams and everything? Because I don't think Jayden Daniels is very, very good. I just think I like Caleb Williams more going forward. But you think Jayden Daniels is going to be like the best quarterback ever?
I think he's going to be, if he stays healthy, I think Jayden Daniels is going to be the best quarterback in the history of the Redskins or Commanders. I think he's going to be the best quarterback in the NFC. He might already be the best quarterback in the NFC.
What about like all time?
Probably top 2.
All time.
No, that's too far for me to project, but probably top 5.
Okay. Yeah, I think Caleb Williams is gonna have a really strong career and win a Super Bowl. That's all I'll say.
Just one.
I wouldn't doubt that.
I'm gonna say 1. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I don't. I'm
the
not gonna
Bears?
say he's top 10, top 5.
That was
Like,
mean,
that's-
Hank. That was mean, Hank.
Yes, with the Bears. I'm not gonna say he's top 10, top 5, any of this stuff because it's still too early. But I'm very confident in what I've seen and the progression that he's made.
I think it'll be good for the league.
Yeah, tattoo bets every year.
It'll be good for the league
Schedule
to
us
have
every
this
year.
rivalry.
Every year. All right, last game. Cowboys at Niners.
Let's get that footage.
Yeah, that's fine.
I want to see the footage.
I've been trying to stay reserved with what I'm about to say, but because we're in a place where we can't have cameras and people aren't recording, I'll just say it with you guys. Caleb Williams is so fucking good. He is going to change all of our lives. I honestly think that we're all going to become winners. And I'm going to say one other thing, because I don't think PFT's here. He's so much better than Jayden Daniels. I believe it. I won't say it to his face. I'm going to wait. I got to play this long game, but he's so fucking good.
I knew Max was there. I knew he was going to bring this up. You think I'm an idiot? Max was. I saw him before the show. He came in and said hello to me. I don't think I said this year, but and if it's this year, no, Jayden Daniels played better than Caleb Williams so far. Caleb Williams, I think about his future higher.
Hank, who do you think's better?
Jayden Daniels.
He's played better this so far.
I think Caleb Williams is better.
Thank you, Max.
I think that's fair
I
to
want
say.
Caleb Williams to
I
be
think
better,
it's
but-
fair to say that so far Jayden Daniels has played better. But
Yeah, he's also-
but you think that your ceiling is higher.
Yes, and I also think that Caleb Williams gets criticized for playing bad defenses, and Jayden Daniels has also played bad defenses.
It's true.
Yeah.
I want both to play Sunday.
Yeah, I do too.
Then I can
Very
decide.
badly. Very badly.
Mm-hmm. Are you guys going to compliment my jersey or
I
no?
did. That was the first thing I said to you.
Oh, I'm
Thanks, Hank. I
sorry.
appreciate
Great
that.
jerseys. And McCaffrey?
It's a Luke McCaffrey salute to
Hell
service
yes.
Arctic camo jersey.
Hell yes.
Shipped directly from China. I love the fact that China is making our pro-American military jerseys.
That is
Also,
nice.
this is just a knockoff, and I feel like I'm the only person in the world that owns it. But fuck it, we ball.
Nice. Where'd Max go?
Probably to retrieve the footage.
Footage or bathroom?
I did say,
Bathroom.
I do remember saying, because we don't have any, no one can take video of this. And then I looked at the camera.
Yeah.
I knew the camera was there.
Also, the Rookie of the Week thing is hilarious because there are 2 weeks that you could definitely say Caleb deserved to win.
Don't want it.
Those 2 weeks.
Don't want it. Want to stay hungry. Don't want it. Okay, breaking Moos. Breaking Moos. Max has got the video from Laugh Factory.
I'm very interested to see this. So, according to Big Cat, he said that Caleb Williams is going to be better than Jayden Daniels.
Or he might have said he's better, but I didn't say he's playing better right now, or he's had a better
we'll see,
games
we'll
this
see.
year.
Have you seen this?
I have not.
I have not either.
He lived it.
I did live it, but I don't remember anything that happens ever because my brain's turning to mush and I don't sleep.
I've been trying to stay reserved with what I'm about to say, but because we're in a place where we can't have cameras and people aren't recording.
I knew the cameras
I'll
were
just say
recording
with
me.
you guys, Caleb Williams is so fucking good. He is going to change all of our lives. I honestly think that we're all going to become winners. And I'm going to say one other thing, because I don't think PFT's here. He's so much better than Jayden Daniels.
He's so much better than Jayden Daniels.
Yeah.
I believe it.
I have no
He's so
problem.
much better than Jayden Daniels.
I mean, why can't I say that?
Wait. I want to hear the rest
So
of it.
fucking good. I believe it. I won't say it to his face. I'm going to wait. I'm going to play some long games. He's so fucking good.
I knew the cameras were everywhere. Yeah, I have no problem with what I said.
I have one problem with what you said.
What?
That he's so much better than Jayden Daniels. I vehemently disagree. I think anybody that's watched the games this season, and I'm a big Caleb Williams fan. I've been very polite
you
myself.
don't have to fake it.
I've been
You don't
rooting,
have to fake
I've been
it.
rooting for the guy. I want him to be a great
You don't
quarterback.
have to fake it.
I think you have to be insane to say that Caleb Williams has
Okay.
been a better quarterback.
I didn't
than
say
Jayden
he's
Daniels.
been a better quarterback. I
Right
said
now.
he's so much better. I didn't
not-
say he's a better quarterback. He's been a better quarterback. I said he's so much better.
I think we're splitting hairs right
No,
now.
I have not. I didn't say Caleb Williams
I
has
could- yeah,
played
big-
so much better.
Big cat's backed into a corner.
No, I'm not. You have talked reckless about Jayden Daniels. I have been very reserved. Caleb Williams has played better every week, and people wanted this to happen for this week. They wanted us to finally take the gloves off. Max was just he was so happy. He's like, we needed this. We needed this.
I've been reckless about Jayden Daniels because I'm looking at the hardware, and he's got
Right.
5 rookie of the weeks.
For me to say that I think my quarterback is so much better, you have said some shit that is like crazy.
No, I said Super Bowl window.
You just said he's going to be one of the top 2 quarterbacks of all time.
I said top 5.
You started with top 2.
I think I said not saying top. Maybe I said top
I feel
2.
like I've been very reserved, and I still think that Caleb Williams there's going to be some bumps in the path this season for Caleb Williams. He's going to have some bad games. We got a tough schedule. I'm looking forward. I think what I've seen forward, he's going to be awesome.
I think right now as it stands, we both have our lines.
Yeah, I mean this is what we always thought, so it's not like a secret.
Yeah. I did have Jayden as number 1 on my big board before the draft.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I wanted him.
Listen.
There's an update, by the way, about Jayden Daniels from Adam Schefter.
Okay.
So he tweeted out earlier today, Washington plans to attempt to try to practice Jayden Daniels on Friday.
Okay.
So we plan
to attempt.
We plan to
That
attempt
doesn't
to
sound great.
plan to attempt to try to practice Jayden on Friday.
That doesn't sound great.
I still think he's going to play.
But plan to attempt to try to practice.
We plan to attempt to try. That's
So
a great
are you-
update from Schefter.
Are you mad at me that I think my quarterback's better than yours?
No. I just I would have rather had this conversation on the podcast.
Well, I knew. I mean, there was.
It's sad that
we're
it had
having
to,
it.
It's sad that it had
We're
to come.
having it.
It's sad that it had to come
You don't
after a video where you said, "I'll say this because PFT's not here."
Well, you don't think there was 3 cameras pointing at my
Mm-hmm.
face, and Max was in the crowd. I saw Max before the show,
Listen, we just might have.
and I knew he was sitting right there.
we might have just reached supreme debate.
Yeah, that was supreme debate. I listen. People have been waiting for me to say it because I've been taking a lot of shit. I get it. You know, the Bengals game. Obviously, my mentions were just holy shit. Your guy stinks. Jayden Daniels is awesome. I think Jayden Daniels is awesome. I think Caleb Williams is super duper awesome.
I think Jayden Daniels is like absolutely the best quarterback that I've ever watched in my entire life.
He's a top 2 quarterback of all time.
He might be. He might when it all is said and done. We're both confident in our guys.
Yeah, I just want Caleb Williams to keep getting better. And like I said, it's his rookie season. There's going to be some bumps in the road. I know that I think we play the Vikings on Monday Night Football. I already have that circled as a game that everyone's going to shit on me. I have it just in my mind of like, that's going to suck for me. But I don't care.
The nice thing is right now I don't have any more primetime games I have to worry about. Or I guess the Eagles. Yeah, there's the Eagles on Thursday night.
That will be a big game.
That'll
We're
be
going
a
to
big
stream
game.
that game.
Be a big game. You know what? The real perverts out there, it's actually just memes. It's actually just memes.
No, Max loves this.
Memes
Max
is
is so
memes
happy.
is being a big pervert right now.
Max is
Memes
so
is-
happy.
And this is
pumping.
good promo for the stream
Yes.
and for
yes,
Monday's show.
absolutely. People wanted this. They didn't want us
They
to
want-
sit
no,
here and be
they-
like, oh, I hope we have a good game. I hope you have a good game. I hope we have a good game. Back and forth. No, I know. I know what this is.
Memes said, ask him if it's must win or can't lose. I think you care more about the quarterback play.
No. The Bears, because of the Bears' schedule, I've already called it a must win. This stretch has been nothing but must wins. The Panthers game is a must win. The Jaguars game is a must win. This is a must win. I've said it a million times, but all Bears fans listening right now know it. Starting in week 10, we have the most difficult schedule possible, and it's going to be fucking torture. And Caleb Williams is going to have games he looks bad. We must win these games. We must win them. We knew going into the season when you looked at the schedule, it's like if we don't start the season 6-3 or 7-2, we have no chance at the playoffs.
I think this is a must play for Jayden.
Yeah, I want him to play.
I don't think it's a. I'm not going to get into Max's little must win, can't lose, because at the end of the day, those don't mean anything, and I've figured that out, Max, when you asked me that. But I think Jayden must play this weekend.
I'm going to remember when you said that.
I'll say this, PFT. I went on Waddle and Sylvie.
You're not going to remember that at all.
I won't remember.
You're going to fall right back into that trap.
I went on Waddle and Sylvie. I do every Wednesday, and those are my guys, and they were kind of making fun of me because I said that I wanted Jayden Daniels to play, and they were like, "What? Like, don't we want the path of least resistance?" I was like, "No. I want Jayden Daniels. I genuinely want Jayden Daniels to play. I want to see this.
So do I.
It's the best for this show.
Yep.
It's 100% the best for this show, and I want to see it happen. So
Listen,
I'll be bummed out if it doesn't.
Listen, am I overcompensating because of all my doubt via watching so much bad quarterback play my entire life as a Commanders Redskins football team fan? 100%, absolutely. But do I also think that Jayden is, I'd say, top 2 in the NFC right now? Yes, I do think he is.
The only time I thought your recklessness was a little crazy was when you genuinely laughed at Max, and it was very similar to when Billy had like 2 good weeks for the Jets, and he was like, "You guys don't understand." And I was like, "PFT, we're still far away from the finish line here."
So the reason I laughed at Max was actually because Max had just gotten done saying the Eagles season is completely over. And then he said Eagles to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's why that was
It was
fun.
like the 10th team pick, though.
Yeah.
At that point, like, you have to.
But it was a genuine laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were kind of looking at him like, "You sad sack of shit. You don't know what it's like."
No,
and I'm not there yet. No, I'm not there yet.
No. I would never say that, like, I feel bad for Max, because the Eagles, I've said this, they have a top to bottom much better roster than the Commanders do. Like,
No, don't do this now.
it's true.
Yeah.
No, don't do this.
You can't take back the laugh.
Don't do this now.
Okay.
The laugh.
I think it's true, though.
the
Would you
laugh
agree?
was the true reaction.
I'm not going to answer that question.
Hank,
That's learning by me.
anything?
I'd need Jayden Daniels to play.
Okay.
Yeah.
We all do. This podcast needs Jayden Daniels to play. I'll be very bummed out if it happens on Sunday morning.
He plans to attempt to try to practice to play.
Wait, didn't you say you'd do something if he doesn't play?
I think there was discussion of me getting fined for the.
Oh, yeah, we're going to fine you. Yes,
Yeah.
no, we're fining you.
Yeah, because
we
said
are fining you.
Sunday, I was like, he's playing.
Yeah, we're fining you $100 a person.
No, $100 next lottery ball winner gets it.
Okay. Yeah, put in free parking.
Yeah, free parking in the lottery ball.
That's good. We should just
We should
have
do fines for that.
We should have a free parking. Yep.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, we should have a jar for it. Memes will never get it.
I'll never get it.
No, you're going to get it. Memes is never going to get it. All right, well, that was the breaking news. Back to regular scheduled programming. All right, last game, Cowboys at Niners. This is just the injury bowl. Jennings, Debo, Ayuk, all out. Or Debo probably out. Kittle maybe out. McCaffrey. Hank?
He's out.
Okay. And yeah, I don't know. All I have for this is Jerry Jones is doing weird shit again. He said that Mike McCarthy's designing bad plays and bad concepts on offense.
Saying that he's got bad plays is such a mean, funny thing to say.
And then also said Derrick Henry wasn't a fit for their offense. And then I don't know if you guys saw the story on ESPN where it was basically a deep dive into the fact that the Cowboys facility does tours every single day that just basically has the players like zoo animals.
Yeah, you get to walk through and just see the players at work, and then the players are just like, oh, there's people behind glass, like tapping on it and taking pictures.
They're tapping on the glass when you're like trying to get a workout.
Yeah, it's insane. But that's Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones is like, yeah, go look at my boys out there.
That's what
that one boy, he's got a big penis.
Yeah.
Try to see that.
Yeah.
There's a very funny tweet, speaking of the 49ers. This is from Matt Ford. He pointed out after Deebo Samuel had pneumonia and he was sent to the hospital. Matt Ford said the 49ers' healthiest receiver right now was shot in the chest 2 months ago.
Yeah,
which is true.
that's true.
And it's crazy.
Ricky Pearsall.
And so he played last weekend. And it's insane the bad injury luck that the 49ers have had this season. I don't think that things are going to turn around for the Niners.
No, I like the Cowboys in this
I
game.
feel like could be a good week for the Cowboys. Although Brandon Aubrey missed practice because he's doing jury duty, which is a very strange reason. Like back in the day, if you were missing practice for court on the Cowboys, you were having a lot more fun.
Yeah. That's very true.
You weren't on that side of the box.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I like the Cowboys. Mike McCarthy off the bye is pretty good too.
Yeah, he is.
As fat as he is.
He is 12-5 all time after bye, and he's 3-1 as the Cowboys coach.
Okay, let's do picks. Let's start with our touchdown parlay that we hit. So every day is game day at DraftKings Sportsbook. Now through the end of the year, it's extra special. All customers will get a special daily promo every single day from profit boosts, odd boosts, no sweat boosts, or bets, and more. There's something for everyone. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE. And take advantage of special daily promotions only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Touchdown parlay, we hit it. Who was in it?
Saquon was mine.
No, it was the three of us.
Yeah.
All right, so we need to do it again. We need to hit it again.
I like
for the
Joe
people.
Mixon.
Joe Mixon. I like that pick too. Good job. That's a good pick.
Great pick.
I will do J.K. Dobbins.
Should I go running back or wide receiver?
Do whatever you feel, buddy.
Yeah, follow your heart.
Devontae Adams.
Okay.
Oh, against the Patriots.
The best speech of all time. The realest speech of all time.
Best speech of all time. Patriots D is not good. If there was going to be like a let's get on the right page.
It would be this.
Yeah.
Memes, what do you think?
I love it. 3 touchdown game.
3 for Devontae?
Yeah.
3 touchdowns.
2 plus TDs is plus 650.
All right.
3 plus TDs is 30-1.
What's the standings for our? So we'll have the DraftKings Sportsbook. We'll have the TD parlay. We're 1-0 in our last one. What are the standings for the season-long competition?
I'm in last.
Oh no.
The season-long competition, Big Cat 8-6, myself 8-6, PFT and Hank 6-8, Max 4-9-1. Max PFT went 0-2 last week. The rest of us 1-1.
4-9-1, Max.
Yeah, no, I haven't got a total right once all year. Haven't got one total right.
And you've been taking unders.
I was doing mostly unders. Last week I did an over to try and combat all of my bad unders. I've been terrible.
In your own head.
Yep, all over my own head.
Okay, who's up first?
Mr. Commenter.
I will take the Denver Broncos minus 9.5 at home against the Carolina Panthers.
Okay, I will take the Miami Dolphins minus 3.5 at home against the Arizona Cardinals.
I will take the Kansas City Chiefs minus 9.5 against the Raiders. I know the Chiefs don't have a great record. I might be making this up. Do they not have a good record when they have
like
big spreads?
Big spreads, but business.
Patrick Mahomes
We're gonna
taking
handle
care of
it.
business.
Yeah.
Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, we're going to handle it when we handle it.
I'm going to take the Bills minus 3.
I am going to take the Browns plus 8.5.
I like
And-
that. I like that pick a lot, Max.
And Jets Patriots over 41.
I wanted that one. Fuck.
Sunday Night Football under 46.5.
Part of my take bowl. Let's have some fun. Over 43.5 in the Bears Commanders.
I like that.
Okay, I'll do over 40.5 Saints Chargers.
I'm going to go under 41 Jets Patriots. 3 touchdowns for Devontae. No scores for the Patriots.
Should we do 3 touchdowns in the TD parlay?
That'd be wild.
That would be wild. Okay, those were all of our picks. Let's do Fantasy Fuckboys, and then we'll get to an awesome interview with Jon Gruden. Fantasy Fuckboys brought to you by our friends at Body Armor. This segment is brought to you by Body Armor Sports Water, the alkaline water that provides real hydration with electrolytes for taste. Everybody's always drinking it around the office. The sports drink, the zero sugar, and even the Flash IV after a long weekend. We can't get enough Body Armor. The sport water, in my opinion, it's the best water on the market. Head on over to your local 7-Eleven. Get your Body Armor Sports Water today.
What's up, boy?
What's up, fucker?
My name's Rocco Arrivederci.
What's up, Rocco?
What's up?
My stardom this week, Ghost Energy.
Oh,
Ghost
yeah.
Energy. Okay,
Big
Ghost
time
up.
sponsor here. They just got sold to Keurig for a Billy.
A Billy.
A Billy.
Holy
Best energy
shit.
drink in the game. I guess
Way
they're
to-
going to turn into Keurig pods. I don't fucking know how that works.
Way to
That
go,
rocks.
Ghost.
Also, it's Keurig Dr. Pepper.
Way to go, Ghost.
Who knew that was a company together?
That's wild.
That is wild.
My situm, Bronny James.
Yeah, I had him
what happened?
too.
You got your photo op. You didn't even dap up LeBron on the way in. You left him hanging. You got your picture. You're never playing again, bud.
Would have been great, though, if you had stepped in, knocked down 1-3, and then the crowd goes nuts. You check yourself out.
Get ready to learn.
He had-
Pine, buddy.
I saw a stat. He had a better plus-minus than his dad, though.
Oh, shit. He almost had that. He had one offensive rebound, I think.
Skip Bayless said Michael Jordan would out-intangible Bronny in one-on-one.
Oh,
I tend to believe
shit.
it.
My sleeper, Jake Bobo.
Bobo.
Bobo the clown.
Are you-
Bobo.
You're Bobo-sexual.
Bobo's going to score.
No DK. Bobo's going to step in on the depth chart.
I
Love
like it.
Fun to say.
Put him in
I
your
like it.
lineup. Put him to score. Bobo time. Bobo time.
I
Bobo.
like it.
Bobo.
Bobo T.
What's up, dickheads? It's Gucci Danucci.
What's up, Gucci?
This week I'm starting Eli Manning. Eli Manning is starting for me. He's on the short list of 50 guys for the Hall of Fame. Eli's
Oh,
getting closer
shit.
to the Hall of Fame. I just want to see the bust that they design of Eli Manning. He's got to have the mouth open. He's got to have the hair all messed up. We need the Manning face.
Fly catcher.
I'm sitting Cardi B. I'm not talking about Tank Bigsby, Cartavius Bigsby. I'm talking about the singer Cardi B. She's being investigated by the SEC for crypto fraud.
Oh, shit.
Thoughts and prayers. And then my
I thought that was going to be the one that made us rich.
it probably was. It was WAPcoin.
Yeah,
WAPcoin. I liquidated all my WAPcoin at
Damn
the
it.
wrong time.
Damn
They
it.
tried to do a pump and dump, and I'm not talking about that chick that got boned by 20 guys. My sleeper this weekend is going to be Joe Mixon. I feel like Joe Mixon goes off. And as inaccurately reported on part of my take on Monday, the individual at Lambeau Field was not kicked out. He was kicked out momentarily. They brought him back. They said, you didn't do anything wrong.
did it.
You were protecting your house. You were standing your ground. You're welcome back in the front row. Congrats to that guy.
All right, my what's up, you fuckers? My name's Frankie Roast Beef.
Hey, Frankie.
My stardom is Bryce Maximus James. Because guess what? He's going to be in the NBA at some point. I'm going to call my shot right now.
good for him.
Feels like he's going to get drafted and get in the NBA.
The
I
kid-
don't know. I just got a feeling about this one.
The kid's earned it.
The kid's earned it. My sit-em is Zach Edey. He fouled out in 15 minutes.
That's tough. That's
So
a
everyone
tough
who
look.
said, who watched Zach Edey in the Big Ten and said they fucking don't call fouls. He went one game in the NBA and he finally called fucking fouls.
It's very interesting.
Feels good.
It's very interesting.
Feels real fucking good. My sleeper is J.K. Dobbins. He's gonna score. The Chargers, all the Chargers offense, gonna score.
I love that. Charge up.
J.K. Rowling.
The Bronny stuff was ridiculous.
So, it was a cool moment for LeBron. It was a good family moment.
For LeBron.
But then everyone else had to participate in LeBron James's awesome family moment. Which is fine. You can make he's earned the right to basically tell the Lakers what to do.
Yes.
Because he's been arguably the best player of all time. And you've got to see Bronny grow up from the time that LeBron was starting in the league. So it's a cool story. But to act like it's a great moment that Bronny made it to the NBA.
Yeah.
And there is obviously also the health scare thing with Bronny last year where he his heart stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And so it does add to it being a cool moment for LeBron.
For LeBron.
But we don't have to act like Bronny is an actual NBA player.
That's the big part. It's all for LeBron.
Yeah.
None of this was for Bronny. I feel bad for Bronny in a weird way because he knows it. But anyone who was saying this was the coolest thing they've ever seen. I thought. So when he got drafted, I was like, oh, that's a cool moment. That's fun. And I wasn't totally against all of this. I thought that stupidly thought that Bronny would start in the G League and would be in the G League for a while. Where it flipped for me, where I was like, this is fucking ridiculous. Everyone just stop sucking LeBron's dick here and pretending like this is a monumental thing, is that they put him in the first game. That was come on.
Yeah.
First fucking game.
Do you think that the original plan was send him to the G League and then after he has one really good game, bring him up and act like he earned the right to be on the roster?
If Bronny had gone to the G League and worked on his game, and he's probably not talented enough to be in the NBA regardless, but say he works on his game for a year, 2 years. LeBron says, I'm going to retire. LeBron's last game in the NBA, he's like, hey, I would like my son to be on the court with me. That's an awesome moment.
And
that's a great moment.
I actually think that even the biggest haters amongst us,
right?
If Bronny had gotten into the game, gets one shot, and he hits it, that would have been awesome, right?
That's an awesome moment.
That would have been a very cool moment. It's like the student manager getting in the last game of a high school game and just heating up from 3 for no reason.
Yeah, but this was just so manufactured and not real that it just, I don't know. First game was just so weird to me.
But it is a cool moment for LeBron. Like, it's an insanely cool moment for that family.
I think it's better that he played in his first game.
Well, I don't think he should have been on the roster in the first game.
But you can just get it out of the way, because if he was in the G League, then that would be the whole story for like a while, which would be like, when is Bronny going to get called up? When is he going to get that game with LeBron? Like, when are we going to have that moment? Now that it's out of the way, now he can just focus.
Maybe if you're Bronny, like, I know you can't do this, but I would have said, hey, Dad, don't make me get drafted to your team. Let me go be in the G League on another team.
I agree with Max, though. If you're going to do it, better to get it out of the way.
It
just
just
have
seems
it game
so
one.
weird.
Yeah, it already happened.
Yeah,
now
it already happened.
the moment is already there.
We would be talking about it all the time.
When is it?
Bronny has one good game, and they're like, oh, they're going to bring him up now. It was very funny watching him check into the game, too, seeing that Bronny is like probably 9 inches shorter than LeBron.
It just seems so fake. That's all. All right, let's.
I like JJ though, pretending that he didn't know that Bronny was going to check.
Yeah,
that was funny.
Yeah. All right, let's get to our great interview with Jon Gruden. Before we do that, Peter, you got a quick ad?
Yeah, before we get to Jon Gruden, he's brought to you by Chevy. Chevy trucks are the best, and there's a reason why we've never done a Mount Rushmore pickup trucks. That's because, for part of my take, there's only one pickup truck, the Chevy Silverado. Why is that? Well, Silverado is a partner. It's a partner that you can depend on. We've all spent time driving and using the Silverado for all kinds of part of my take jobs, adventures, and other shenanigans. They were a ride for a cross-country trip to the Super Bowl. They helped us dig the biggest hole ever in the state of Ohio. That was last year at Grit Week. And they sponsor the Lowman Award. And shout out the Lowman Award. We're going to get into that with Jon Gruden for a little bit. And this year, the Silverado was out west with us for our latest Grit Week. It's got legendary grit, and it's also got the modern truck tech. Inside and out, it's got the biggest screens, up to 8 cameras with 14 different views. They help make driving, towing, and parking all easier. We love the bold, blacked-out look of the new Silverado HT Trail Boss. That is a good-looking truck. So head over to Chevy.com, build your own Silverado or your Silverado HD. Check out all the current offers on Silverado. Discover a world of strength and capability, all behind the wheel of our favorite truck, the Chevy Silverado. Go to Chevy.com, build your own today. And now here's Jon Gruden.
Okay, we now welcome on a very special guest. He is Super Bowl champion head coach, Jon Gruden. Coach Gruden, thank you for joining us. Let's start with this. Can I still call you coach? Is that still okay for us to call you coach during this interview?
That's perfectly fine. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So we have a ton of questions. Very excited to have you on. Let's start with this. You're zooming in right now from the fired. What do we call it? The Fired Football Coaches Institute.
Yeah, it's the association. It's the FFCA. Don't you know, man?
Okay. So the FFCA. So for people who don't know, you have set up basically a facility that looks almost like a coach's facility at a team, where there's offices and different rooms. So what exactly made you decide to start this, and what does a day-to-day look like in the FFCA?
Well, when I got fired by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I got into Monday Night Football. I needed a place to go and study and put all my game plans and my servers and memorabilia. So I bought a building, and it's kind of taken off from there. But we bring in a lot of coaches, players, college players, pro players. We collaborate on football, study football. And during the season, we have a routine. During the off season, we have a routine. And right now, we're just grinding, getting ready for next week's games.
So
I love that.
So you're basically not coaching, but you're going through the motions of what a coach would do every single week. That's perfect.
That's exactly right. I have 2 servers. I think I'm the only human being that has these servers where you can put cut-ups from years past. You can continue to make cut-ups from last week's games, offensive cut-ups, defensive cut-ups, blocking scheme, red zone, you name it. And when the players start coming in the off season, I have everything ready to go, and we can start analyzing and studying things specifically.
That's so cool. That sounds like a great setup that you guys have down there. So you're grinding the tape. You're going through it like you would an actual coach. Do you have like a staff? Is there a hierarchy of like who's the head fired football coach?
Well, I'm the head man here. I pay the bills. So if you pay the electricity, you get the big desk. I got the big room here, but I have my assistant, Jeff Leonardo, who was with me at Monday night, with me with the Raiders. He's my only full-time employee. I can't afford a full staff right now, but we're working hard, man. We're on our way back, and we're eager for that next opportunity down the road.
So your YouTube channel, Gruden Loves Football, I love it because it's you talking into the camera and getting sweaty, getting really intense. And I don't know how much of it you put on as an act, but I choose to believe that it's 100% authentic, that you're sitting there in the dark watching, quarterback film, and you're just sweating thinking about how good they are. Is that fair?
It's pretty much accurate. I love to do 3 or 4 games a week. And, I think to do a decent job, you got to study every team's offense and every team's defense. You got to study the matchups. You got to look at the red zone, short yardage, goal line, 2-minute drill. You got to look at the rotation of players, the injury list. And what it does is it keeps me on schedule, keeps me up to breast as to who's doing what in the NFL, where personnel is going, who's emerging, who's declining, and it's stimulating. I love it. And the channel's name, Gruden Loves Football, is about as accurate as you can call it. Because I still do love the game, even though I don't have a team.
Yeah, we love guys who love football. I mean, we love football too. Sometimes football doesn't love us back, but we absolutely love guys who love football, and I think you fit the bill more than anybody.
Yeah.
Well, you guys do too. I love watching your show. You guys are a little bit more harsh, a little bit more critically honest than me, but I love it, man. I absolutely love it. Some of the things that you guys say, I kind of say behind closed doors sometimes.
Yep. Yeah.
I think it's mutual. We got a lot in common.
So you said something there that I want to go back to. You said next opportunity. Are you actively trying to get back into coaching? Because we would love to see you back on a sideline. How's that process going? And is it NFL? Is it college? Or is it whoever's going to give you that next opportunity?
Yeah, I try not to overanalyze it. I just try to stay ready and be ready to go. If that opportunity does arise, I know this, I'll be ready to go. But in the meantime, I'm having a blast. I really am. I enjoy what I'm doing. I've had a chance to spend some time with my wife, see a little bit of the sights. And I've even got my golf game now where it's pretty competitive, so I like that.
Okay. All right. Are you still waking up at 3:17 in the morning every day?
I'm a little bit later than that, but it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I like to get in and get out. I like to have a day left when I get out of work. I like to come in here when there's nobody up, nobody's around. I can pound the film for 4 or 5 hours, get a workout, and go do something else.
That's great. So let's talk about the NFL right now. What are some of the big picture trends that you're seeing? I know you're not a fan of the RPO game. And the clapping cadence. I read that. What's your gripe with that? And what do you think, is missing in today's NFL?
Well, I don't like passing plays with the offensive line run blocking. I don't like seeing quarterbacks getting their ass knocked off because of this ridiculous protection offense that I'm watching. That's what RPO stands for me. I mean, when you blitz a run play, the quarterback gets rocked. And some of these hits and some of these injuries that quarterbacks are getting running the ball, it makes me sick. I just saw another kid in Washington get hurt yesterday. But anyways, I try to look at the RPO game. I don't want to see Friday night offense in high school all day Saturday and then see it on Sunday. I want to see these NFL quarterbacks drop back to pass, throw an array of routes with different route trees and audibles. I want to see a professional style of pass offense. I don't want to see the Friday, Saturday night football.
Yeah. So which quarterback right now do you think fits that mold the best? Who's playing at the top of their game?
Man, I don't even think it's close. I did a thing with the Detroit Lions last week. I think Jared Goff is starting to look like Joe Montana to me. He plays with continuous movement. He completes almost every single pass. He's tough as hell. He has continuity in the same system. He knows and anticipates what plays are going to be called. They move the ball around, man. They throw it to the tight end, both backs. They throw it to all these different receivers. They have a real impressive, balanced offense, but I don't even think it's close. I got Goff way up there on my list.
Yeah, he's been on fire.
And he's interesting because he was okay in LA. He was not a bad quarterback for the Rams. And then you've seen that, they kind of cast him aside. They said they wanted somebody who can win them a Super Bowl. They got Stafford. Goff goes up to Detroit, kind of forgotten about, and then he gets better and better as the years go on. And it's just kind of a reminder that not always, you can't take a 23-year-old and say, like, this is the peak of their ability. They're going to continue to improve. So how do you do that? How do you weigh that as a coach, saying we've got this guy who's supposed to be really good, all the physical tools, but he's just not getting it done when he's 23, 24 years old? How do you get through that spot and give that guy another chance or a chance to improve until like their late 20s, early 30s?
Well, I was shocked that they traded Goff personally. I wasn't on board with that trade. I mean, not only did they trade Goff, they traded 3 first-rounders with Goff. And I see where the Lions are now, and I see where the Rams are now. And right now, I'd rather be with Detroit. Mm-hmm. But, Goff did take him to the Super Bowl. And Bill Belichick and the Patriot defense did a great job playing that 4-3 defense, what they hadn't shown a lot during the season. And they stymied the Rams. And I know Matt Stafford's got a cannon, and I love watching him wing it. But obviously, the longevity, the mobility of Stafford now isn't what it was 3 years ago. But I would have hung in there with Goff personally. He's a grade A guy. He's smart as hell. He's a great competitor, and he's young. And it's hard to depart with a quarterback that has that much upside and future, in my opinion.
Yeah, so it's a good point. Obviously, the Rams won a Super Bowl, but they did trade a lot of first-round picks and, a little bit mortgage, a little bit of the future. You, for people who don't know, because, we have fans that maybe were very young at the time, you were traded from the Raiders to the Bucs for a haul. Like, it's actually shocking to look at because I don't think that would happen in today's NFL. When you got traded, what was it? It was 2 first-round picks, right? And it was some more picks on top of that. Did you, when that happened, when that all went down, was there a part of you like, this might bite me in the ass going down the line because I'm going to Tampa, which is a great team, won a Super Bowl, but I'm also hurting myself 4 or 5 years down the line because we're giving up all these picks to the Raiders where I'm leaving?
Yeah, I mean, that was brutal. I mean, we won the Super Bowl our first year. We had a hell of a defense. Our offense came around. But, when the season is over and you got to get ready for the draft and you don't have a first-round pick, and then, whoops, you don't have a second-round pick, and then you don't have a first-round pick or a second-round pick the next year, that's tough when you see the Saints bringing in Drew Brees and Jeremy Shockey, and the Falcons are bringing in Michael Turner and Tony Gonzalez and John Abram, and people forget at that time Carolina was a pain in the ass, man. They had Julius Peppers and Mike Rucker and Steve Smith and Musa Muhammad, 2 great backs. They represented the NFC in the Super Bowl. So, yeah, you're right. That was a tough time. When you sacrifice that much draft capital, it can come back and bite you pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty shocking to look back at it. It was 2 first rounds, 2 second rounds, and $8 million. Like that wouldn't happen in today's NFL. I feel like teams are a lot more protective of their picks, and the way to get better is through the draft. But that defense and that Super Bowl team was incredible, and flags fly forever. Where would you rank your Bucs defense in terms of all-time defenses? Because you guys were an absolute wrecking crew. 4 Hall of Famers, maybe a 5th if you want to say Simeon Rice could eventually end up there. Where do you rank them, though, in all-time defenses?
Well, selfishly, I'd rank them very high. I try not to get into all the nostalgia. I mean, I don't know the 75 Steelers, the Dolphins, the 17-0 Dolphins. I mean, you don't know those teams, the Chicago Bears, the 85 Bears, unbelievable. We lost to the Ravens in the AFC Championship game when I was with Oakland. They were really good. But what we did with that defense, guys, is we scored touchdowns on defense. I knew we had a hell of a defense. We didn't have a hell of a team when I got to Tampa. We had a hell of a defense. And we challenged the defense. If you're that good, why don't you start scoring touchdowns? I mean, pick up the ball and run it back for a touchdown. Don't just intercept the ball. Get a block and score. And I challenged them. This is no kid. And I said, hey, I want 9 touchdowns. And it really pissed them off. They're like, who the hell is this guy coming in here telling us to score 9 touchdowns? And I'll never forget this when Dwight Smith intercepted Gannon for the last time in the Super Bowl, ran it back. Warren Sapp grabbed me and he said, "You want 9 touchdowns? There's number 9. They scored 9 touchdowns." But I think that's what really separated us from other defenses is not only did we stop the run and we're really tough against the pass, but we scored touchdowns.
Yeah.
I love that. You spoke it into existence. You said, "I believe you can get 9," and they, in the back of their head, they might have subconsciously believed you the entire time. It's pretty crazy. So when you were on the Bucs, you had Mike Allstott, one of our favorite players of all time, and I believe John Lynch was your safety at the time. Did you have a rule in practice that they weren't allowed to hit each other?
Yeah, I tried to make sure those two guys didn't hit each other because I wanted to save those hits for Sunday. But we had a lot of etiquette rules, and we tried to enforce them probably harder than I ever had done before because it was so competitive. This was an alpha defensive team who had taken great pride in punishing the offense twice a day in training camp and throughout the offseason. But when I got there, we had to make sure they stay away from the quarterback and we try to protect each other. And that's pretty common around the league.
Yeah. Yeah. I got this is a question from our friend Stephen Che, who's a diehard Bucs fan who loves you. He wanted me to have you. I'm going to read a play call out to you, and he wants you to explain exactly what it means. Some real football nitty gritty stuff. Green right X shift to Viper 382 X stick Lukey.
It's X
Or
stick
Looky.
Green right X. X was a tag that switched the Z and the X. So McCardle and Keyshawn Johnson would switch sides. So green was the backfield set. It was an I formation. Green right X, our 2 receivers switched. When we shifted to Viper right, our empty backfield sets were named after snakes at that time. So we had cobra, viper, python. We had a lot of different reptiles and snakes, you see. But it was green right X, shift to Viper right, and it was 380 or 382 at that time, which was the protection. And X stick was on one side and Looky was on the other. It was a pick a side play for the quarterback, but green right X, shift to Viper right, 382 X stick Looky. The only guy that ever had a hard time calling that play was Chris Sims. And unfortunately, they caught me on video getting ticked off about it.
Well, yeah, you basically reinvented algebra just in the name of football plays. They get like so long, but you are a math guy. I remember I saw a video. You can count backwards by 3s from any number.
No, I can do it by 4. I can go forward better than backward. But I don't have a lot of intelligence. I will say this. When I did Monday Night Football for 9 years, I studied different terminologies. I grew up in Bill Walsh and Mike Holmgren's 49er West Coast system, which is very wordy at times. But for the last 6 or 7 years, I started studying new terminologies, new ways to streamline it so we could get out of the huddle and be quicker. And our new terminology that we had with the Raiders those last couple of years, if you get with Darren Waller or Hunter Renfrow or Derek Carr, it was a lot easier to say, I do believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because sometimes they do. It sounds like they go on for like 5 seconds of the play clock. I'm like, we need to shorten this down a little bit, get up to the line of scrimmage. You were talking about the RPOs, how you don't like that new evolution of the game. Is there something in the game, like a new wrinkle, that you're looking at and you're saying, hey, this is actually really cool. I think that this actually has a future?
Well, don't get me wrong. I think the RPOs are great until you see a lot of man coverage or you start seeing some blitzing because your quarterback has to hold the ball and sometimes the protection breaks down. But I like tempo. I like change of speeds. I like the no huddle offense. Don't get me wrong. And I do like having 3 different tempo speeds where you have maybe 15 or 20 words in every game plan where you say the word, man. You say Tina Turner or you say Bruce Springsteen, and that means everything. Formation, play, everything. And we're gone, man. Before you could even say PTI, it's gone. I mean, we're playing fast. And then we get up there and we might slow the tempo down, use a dummy count, and try to read the defense's mail a little bit. And then we might use some motions, maybe 2 or 3 motions, and milk it all the way down to 6 seconds to try to get into the perfect play and take advantage of that coach to quarterback walkie-talkie. But I love the teams that change speeds. I'm very interested in Seattle with this Grubbs cat from Washington. I think they're doing some of this. And they tore Atlanta up the other day. And I think they're kind of on the cutting edge of what I'm talking about in terms of changing up the speeds to keeping these defensive coordinators off balance. You know, these defensive guys, they have a hard time calling plays until they know what personnel is on the field. And I give the defensive guys a hard time because they're not as smart and intelligent as us offensive guys. So the more we can screw with these guys in terms of changing speeds and changing personnel, the more you can have success.
So you mentioned Seattle. Is there another offense that you've watched the tape of and you're like, they're doing something different and special, and watch out for these guys? Because I love whenever a coach comes on and tells us that, like, hey, this is what we're not seeing right now. They may not be the best team in the league, but what they're doing is something that's different that everyone's going to eventually probably copy.
Well, I went up to Kansas City and spent 5 or 6 days with the Chiefs in training camp. Andy's a good friend of mine, and they afforded me that opportunity. I just think the way that they practice, the way that they work behind the scenes, they're on the cutting edge. And they have been able to adapt to so many incredible changes on their offense. Left tackle, they're playing a rookie. They lose Pacheco. They lose their receivers. I mean, it's amazing what they've been able to accomplish as they reinvent their offense. But I always love watching them. And I like watching Kyle Shanahan's stuff on first and second down. I think their run and play action pass marries together really good. I enjoy watching that. And I like LaFleur, honestly, up in Green Bay. And I've been, keeping some tabs on Houston a little bit too here lately, although they kind of disappointed me yesterday late in the game.
Yeah. What was it? So about that, Houston, like, they have all the talent in the world. C.J. Stroud is a very good quarterback, but it has looked clunky at times. Offensive line has not been great. Let me actually ask you this: What do you do when your offensive line is not great? How do you fix it in season, knowing you can't get help from free agency? You can't probably get a trade because offensive linemen don't get traded like that. What is a fix from a coaching perspective for an offensive line that's getting your quarterback killed?
Man, it's hard. It's very hard. When you lose some linemen, I'm watching the New Orleans Saints. They've lost 4 or 5 linemen.
Yeah.
It's hard to call plays, hard to run block, hard to pass protect. And the way we have to practice, guys, that's what ticks me off as a coach. I fought a little bit with people behind the scenes about not being able to wear pads during training camp or not being able to pad it up twice a week during practice. I'm not talking about every period, but being able to go out there and work on some stunt pickup, some one-on-one pickup with pass protection. When you just think you're going to go out there in shorts and have a walkthrough and have 8 or 9, stunts in shorts pickup, and then go out there and pick up Micah Parsons screaming in the A-gap, you're whistling zippity-doo-dah out your butt. You know what I mean? So pass protection is falling apart right now, I think, because of the way we're practicing. And the injuries that are occurring now, I've never seen before. I've never seen so many big guys miss time. I remember certain seasons where linemen never missed a snap.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when you're watching this tape, obviously you're an offensive guy, and your eye goes to the offense. I like to also think that you still have that football coach mentality where you see a great defensive player and you actually get scared watching him. You're like, oh, shit, this guy's going to give me nightmares. I'm going to wake up tomorrow thinking about Micah Parsons. Is there anybody else in the NFL right now that's has that effect on you, where you watch them and you're like, I'm really glad I don't have to coach against this guy?
Well, my favorite players, I don't know where I stand. I love Micah Parsons when he plays. I mean, his motor's insane. I really like guys like Fred Warner of the 49ers. I got a lot of respect for him, how he plays the game. Chris Jones, Bosa. I'm talking about Nick Bosa in San Francisco. Those guys are incredible players. And I do like the 2 inside linebackers of the Chiefs. If you ever get a chance to watch Tranquil and Bolton, they'll kick your ass, man. And they know what they're doing, and they cover for each other. They're great communicators. And right now, they just don't make any missed tackles. They're sure tackling guys. But Buda Baker in Arizona is one of my favorite players. I love watching him play. I like this Mafe guy, Mafe out in Seattle.
Yeah.
I didn't know much about him until I started studying these Seahawks. Dexter Lawrence is the one guy, though, I would say that is probably the one guy we would struggle with the most. If you don't have a guard, if you don't have a center, you're in trouble against the Giants because that guy's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
And what about Gruden grinders? Are you still awarding Gruden grinders?
Yeah, we do. We try to pick 5 Gruden grinders in college and 5 or 6 in the pros every week. And we try to pick, the Gruden grinder criteria. You got to be a off the radar kind of guy. You got to be a teamwork kind of guy, versatile, smart, tough, mentally tough guy that's clutch. So we're always looking for Gruden grinders.
Do you have like a number one Gruden grinder in the NFL right now?
Well, right now it'd be hard to say. It's only 7 games into the season, but the little running back in Tampa, this Bucky Irving,
yeah,
he's starting to really fire me up. This guy, he's starting to catch the ball better. He's picking up blitzes a little bit better, and if he hangs on to the ball, I know he had that big fumble against Atlanta, but if he hangs on to the rock, he's going to be on my old Gruden grinder team.
It's also fun to say Bucky Irving. It's just a good name.
Yeah. It's a great name.
We'll get back to Jon Gruden in a moment. He's brought to you by Blue Chew. You can have better sex with Blue Chew. Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets. They're erection-enhancing tablets that help men achieve stronger, harder, longer-lasting erections for sexual activities, and it's all done from the comfort of home. With Blue Chew, you can say goodbye to performance anxiety, say hello to stronger, longer-lasting erections. These chewable tablets have the same active ingredients that you're going to find in Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but they're in a chewable form and a fraction of the cost. Blue Chew's all about having confidence when it comes time to perform and having happy and healthy relationships. Blue Chew subscriptions include a free online consultation, 24/7 medical support, delivery straight to your door every month. Chew it and do it. Carry that erection high and tight, not like a loaf of bread. Blue Chew it and do it. If you want more confidence in the bedroom, use code PMT for your first month for free. Your first month is free when you use promo code PMT at BlueChew.com. Check them out. Thank you to Blue Chew for sponsoring the pod. Jon Gruden's also being brought to you by Uber Eats, where you can get almost anything. It's football season, and Uber Eats is dropping undefeated deals on all your game day favorites like Little Caesars. If you're craving even more, they've got you covered. They have game day deals on burgers, tacos, wings, and more all season long. Uber Eats, the official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL. Order now for game day. Terms, taxes, fees apply. See app for details. This week you can enjoy buy one Ultimate Supreme, get one extra most bestest pepperoni pizza free from Little Caesars only on Uber Eats. It's a great deal. Buy one Ultimate Supreme, get one extra most bestest pepperoni pizza for free from Little Caesars only on Uber Eats. And now here's more Jon Gruden.
We got to get you. So we give out a yearly trophy award to the fullback of the year in college football. If you'd like, we'd love to have you be a voter on the award. It's called the Low Man Trophy, and we've got some guys who are playing the NFL now. Hunter Lepke won it. He's on the Cowboys. Alec Ingold on the Dolphins. So we're trying to shine some lights on the guys that probably aren't getting a lot of publicity.
Well, we had Alec Ingold. I coached Alec in the Senior Bowl when he was coming out of Wisconsin. We signed Alec, and I don't know why the Raiders let him go, but he's a poor man's Juszczyk. Juszczyk is my favorite fullback of all.
Yeah.
The things that he does in San Francisco, it's insane, man. He's whamming the nose tackle. He's reaching the defensive end. I like him. I like the big guy in Baltimore, too, this Patrick Ricard.
Yeah.
And I know Harbaugh down in Los Angeles Charger land is trying to duplicate it with that Maddox guy they got out of Boise State.
Yeah.
Alec Ingold is certainly pretty good. I think he'll benefit when Tua comes back to play quarterback so they can become a little bit more pro style.
Yeah, probably. So you mentioned the Harbaughs. Is there any sibling rivalry between the Grudens and the Harbaughs?
No, not really. I don't think so. We never really crossed paths much with the Harbaughs. Coach Harbaugh came to the Raiders after I left, and I did get a chance to spend some time with John Harbaugh and Todd Monken this offseason here at the FFCA. So if you get those guys on your show, you can even ask them. They were here representing the Ravens.
Yeah, the Harbaughs, they're good friends of ours. I was wondering who would win in a fight between the two sets of brothers.
Well, I'm not messing with Jim Harbaugh. John Harbaugh, probably you've seen that guy lately. He looks like he lives in the weight room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm good friends with Tom Crean also, and Tom Crean, the great basketball coach. Now I think he's at ESPN still, but he married Harbaugh's sister. So it's quite a coaching family that they have, and I'm excited to watch the Harbaugh Raven team come in here tonight. They play the Bucs here in Tampa.
What about the Ryan brothers? Do we have any beef with the Ryan brothers? Because we love just making up beef where it's brothers coaching duos going up against each other.
No, not really. You know, Rex kicked my ass when he was with the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC Championship game. They had quite a defense, but I never really got to coach against Rex more than that. I think that one time. And Rob is still with the Raiders. My son Deuce is still with the Raiders. Mm-hmm. He's one of the strength coaches down there. And if you know Rex or Rob Ryan, you know those guys are great, man. They are fun. I got to go visit the Jets when Rex was the head coach. He let me come out there when I was doing Monday Night Football. We spent about 3 days out there. What a staff they had with Mike Westhoff and Mike Pettin, and just a heck of a group of guys. We really enjoyed that.
Yeah, we're big fans of your son Deuce. We've met him a couple times. He just, whenever we see him, I mean, he's an accomplished weightlifter. What's his weightlifting routine these days? I mean, he feels like he just loves football as much as you, and he just found a way into the game through the strength and conditioning.
Well, he played football at Lafayette in Pennsylvania, and he's a running back, and he wanted to be a strength coach. He won the world champion powerlifting meet. My wife and I flew to Belarus, if you can believe that. He won the strongest man in the world, 180-pound guy with the bench press, the squat, and the deadlift. But he still lifts. I remember one time I was down there with the Raiders, and Richie Incognito was our strongest player, and Richie had a hard time getting the 455 pounds off his chest, because in powerlifting, it's by commands. It's down. I don't know what the commands are. They say press. So you have to do it from a complete negative. And I remember Deuce knocking up about 455 and Incognito struggling, and all the players giving Richie a hard time. It was pretty cool. But he still lifts, he still trains, and I think he's hoping to get back into the competitive part of it.
Yeah, we saw him out in L.A. this year, and he looks just as strong as ever. So his name's not Deuce, though; it's John. And you called him Deuce because he's John the Second?
Well, that was what everybody thinks. When I was coaching for the Green Bay Packers, Sterling Sharp was our best player. He was our receiver. I coached the receivers, and Sterling wore number 2 at South Carolina. Everybody called him Deuce. I said, that's a pretty cool name. So I started thinking, John David II, Sterling Sharp. I really named him after Sterling Sharp, to be honest with you. He was a hell of a player. You guys should help get him into Hall of Fame. It's too bad he got hurt.
Yeah, no, he was incredible, and his career cut short. Speaking of your time in Green Bay and all your travels, you were on part of that coaching staff that had a bunch of head coaches come out of that in the mid-'90s Packers. In terms of your coaching tree, you got guys like Mike Tomlin, Raheem Morris, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan. Do you find yourself rooting extra hard for guys that you are under your tree, so to speak?
Pretty much. I mean, if it's one of the guys I know against one of the guys that I'm rooting for my guy.
Yeah. What is it about Mike Tomlin? I have a question about him, because it's so consistent, and every year it feels like the Steelers are in the same spot where teams discount them and say they got no chance, and then he always he has a competitive team year in, year out. What is it with Mike Tomlin that has that special sauce that he's always able to get the most out of his team?
I think, number one, he's a great communicator. He's a great motivator, and he's very consistent. He's not a basket case. He doesn't come in different one day and different the next. People believe in him. They trust him, and he knows what he's talking about. He's also in a superior organization. They have had a great organization from top to bottom, and I think he really allows people to do their thing. And he's not one of these abrasive guys. He's just a great communicator. He's a very smart football guy. He knows how to use people and their talents. And he's been very good at delegating when he has to delegate. And he's been very good at taking the chalk and saying, here's what we're doing. And there's a fine line to that, I think, being a great coach. He's overcome the loss of a lot of different offensive coordinators. And now he's putting it together without Ben Roethlisberger, which a lot of people thought he would struggle doing.
Yeah.
But I think it's a credit to his imagination, his creativity, his people skills, and nobody's a better competitor than Tomlin. He is he's a guy that'll fight you till the end, whether you want to fight or not.
Yeah, it does feel like history has been kind to Mike Tomlin in the fact that he's had locker rooms with some big personalities that have gone other places, and you're like, how did Tomlin keep that together? Did you call Coach Tomlin when Antonio Brown came to your team, and you're like, hey, what do I do here? Because it did feel like he was able to push the right buttons with AB, and maybe teams after that weren't able to find all the right buttons.
Well, you know what? That was probably one of the more disappointing things that I had to go through as a coach. I studied Antonio when I went and watched the Steelers practice when I was doing Monday Night Football. I know Butch Jones, who coached Antonio in college. And the work ethic, the practice etiquette, the conditioning of this man, the route running, good God. He came to our mini camp and he put on a display. When he was on the grass for us, I really thought we were going to win every game. I thought we were going to complete every pass. He is a certified badass when it comes to running routes. I just think he got later in life and he found some different interests. And I don't know what happened. But I did have some brief conversations with Mike, obviously, along the way. And, I just had hope that putting him in our locker room with some of the veteran leadership that we had, I thought maybe we could really help him take off and take his game to even another level. But you got to put that on me. It just didn't work out.
Yeah. What were the updates like for you during that? It felt like 2 weeks of just chaos. Was there somebody that would come in your office and say, sir, Antonio Brown has just arrived in a hot air balloon?
He's frozen his foot off.
Sir, Antonio Brown doesn't like his helmet. Sir.
Well, you know what? The
Mr.
NFL was so kind. They put us on Hard Knocks. So
yeah.
We had some characters on that team. We had Richie Incognito and Antonio and Vontez Burfict, and we really had a great group of guys. But I'd never heard of cryotherapy. I don't know if you guys have heard of it.
Yeah.
But evidently he burned his feet doing cryotherapy, and I'd never had a player show up on a hot air balloon before. I was excited about that. But everything was different. The helmet we had an issue with, and unfortunately – it just did not work out. We never really got to spend enough time together to build a relationship. And that's what I regret the most. I felt had we been able to be around each other maybe a little bit more, perhaps it would have worked out.
Yeah, you were talking about good organizations like the Steelers. You've coached for some good organizations. Your brother Jay, I'll just say he hasn't been as lucky with some of the organizations that he's worked for in the past and the leadership. But from the top down, what does that look like if you're a head coach, and the difference between just a good organization with stable ownership and a bad organization? What are the day-to-day implications and things that come up when you have to deal with just a team that might not have it all together?
Well, I think that's a great question. I think it all starts with communication and knowledge. I think the owner that really, or the owner that hires people that really are on top of the league, the matchups, the rules, the playing rules, the scheduling. There's so many details. The financial piece of this and hiring a staff, the facilities. There's a million things that you need to address. And to have an owner who's around perhaps enough to stay on top of all these issues and really have a competitive edge about it, if you know what I mean. I think those are the places that really are a cut above.
Yeah. In the 2010s, early 2010s, the NFL Network did a top 100 NFL players of all time. You had Jerry Rice as number one of all time. Is that still the case?
Yeah, that would be for me. I mean, I was telling somebody the other day that the thing that Jerry Rice, you hear about some of these receivers now, their stats and all this. Jerry Rice never caught a bubble screen. I don't know if Jerry Rice caught 3 quick screens either. He didn't want those routes. He was running patterns, man. And the greatest thing about Jerry Rice is I really believe he loved the misery. 37, 38 years old, whenever it was, when he came to the Raiders to play opposite Tim Brown, his body didn't feel good. He was sore as hell. He was tired. He was beat up. We were behind. We weren't getting him the ball enough. They were rotating coverage to him. And that's when he kicked your ass. That's when he played his best. When he was miserable, that's when Jerry Rice was the hardest to stop. And I think that's what separates the great ones from the really good ones is their ability to go out there and just lay it down, man, when they're not at their best.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great pick for best player of all time. He was incredible. And you've been around enough football. I mean, you love football so much you created like a synthetic football team in South Florida that you guys can study tape on. You clearly love football. You're a football guy through and through. You've been around so many great coaches. Who is the top football guy? And he might not be the best coach. Might not be the best coach that you would think of, but one guy that just eats, breathes, and shits football.
You talking about living?
Yeah.
Man, that's a good question.
Good question.
I'm going to Bloomington, Indiana this week to find out what the hell's going on with the best story in all of football. That's the Indiana Hoosiers. This Cignetti guy.
Mm-hmm.
Cignetti, he takes James Madison. He's undefeated at James Madison, or 12-1. Indiana's 7-0, man. They just beat Nebraska 56-7.
Yeah.
And I heard this guy absolutely loves it. I'm going to try to sneak into practice or sneak around the walkthrough and find out. But there's so many guys that love it. To try to rank them right now, I would say that would be tough. Sean McVay, I think, loves it. Just after working with Sean, I know how hard he works. Mike Tomlin's one of the guys that loves it. I think Tomlin would do it for free, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I can't say. I think Bill Walsh was the number one guy I was ever around. Al Davis would be right up there because of their 24/7 year-round the clock passion for it.
Yeah.
Do you ever give Sean McVay shit? Because over the years, he's changed his voice a little bit to try to sound more like you.
No, they got to start winning some games, because since that Super Bowl, I know people quote my one-loss record after we won the Super Bowl. They ain't worth the shit. They got to get back in gear, get back to that Super Bowl and win it.
Do you think Sean has gotten a little too pretty with the facial hair being perfect and the perfect hair, and he looks like he put on some muscle? Do you think he's gotten too pretty?
Probably. All these guys nowadays, they have beards. I still can't grow a beard, but all these coaches, I saw Shanahan on TV the other day. He had a beard.
Yeah.
Tomlin's got a big old beard down there on the field. I like the clean shaven. When I was Bobby Knight's ball boy when I was a kid, you had to have hair above the ear. You had to have clean facial hair. I don't like all these beards. Even Mike McCarthy, Mike and I worked together at the University of Pittsburgh. Even he's got a big old beard now. So I don't know what the hell kind of style's going on with these coaches.
Yeah. What are they trying to hide with that beard?
Wait, you were Bobby Knight's ball boy?
I was. My dad coached at Indiana for Lee Corso when I was a kid, and Bobby Knight's son, Tim, and I were best friends. So I was one of the ball boys for the Hoosiers. We were 33-0, by the way, 32-1. Quinn Buckner, Scotty May, Kent Benson. I got to be the ball boy for the red team.
I love it.
The backup players, and Tim was the ball boy for the starters, and they would kick the red team's ass. So Coach Knight would come in and he would lay some syllables down that I had never heard before.
Wait, how old were you when this was happening?
Dude, I was 11 years old, 12 years old, 10, 11, and 12.
That's incredible. Would Bobby Knight ever get mad at you for your ball boy technique? Would he ever be like, what the hell are you doing over there, Gruden?
He might get mad. My hair was probably over my ears for one of the bus trips. I think that's the only time he got on my case.
So what point when you were growing up did you know that you wanted to be a coach? Was it as early as, 10, 11, 12? You're like, this is for me. I love this.
I pretty much knew in high school. My dad was coaching at Notre Dame. Joe Montana was our quarterback, and we were beating people, man. And that fight song and going to those Notre Dame games was great. And I kind of realized, you know what? I'm not going to be an NFL player. I'm not good enough. I was a backup quarterback at University of Dayton. And being around that Notre Dame locker room, those kids, the kind of guys that they had, the fact they were winning, the tradition, I knew I wanted to do it when I was a junior in high school. And that's probably why I wasn't a great student. And but at least I found my passion, and my mom and dad encouraged me to go for it.
Wait, so at Dayton, what was your record? What was your team's record against San Diego? We know that that's a big rivalry. We were with Coach Harbaugh during training camp, and there's a story that he created a rivalry flag without even telling Dayton that he was doing it. And so after they beat him one year, they were just like, "This is our flag now." And the Dayton coach was like, "What do you mean? We didn't you just created that, and he wanted to juice up the rivalry. But how'd you guys do against San Diego?
Well, that was before we were in that conference.
Okay.
See, we did not play San Diego. But the funny thing about San Diego is when I was coaching for the Bucs, there was a quarterback at San Diego I kind of liked. So I called Harbaugh. He said, hell yeah, he's pretty good. So we drafted him Tampa Bay in the 5th round, and the sucker's still playing. His name is Josh Johnson.
Yeah.
He's played for about 25 years. I think he's played for every team in the league now. And that's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah, that is.
What is it, though? Like, I love Josh Johnson. He seems like a good guy. You wouldn't get all these jobs if you were a bad dude. He's obviously a professional. Coaches like him. Teammates like him. Why hasn't a guy like that been able to stick around with one team?
I don't think he throws it personally. I don't think he throws it consistently great. I think when you go watch him, you're like, what the hell's wrong with he has a nice throwing motion. He has a good arm. Don't get me wrong, but it's not a pretty spiral. It's not always accurate. But you know what? Every time I see him in a game, the guy comes alive when the lights are on, man. He's really something. He's a gamer. I think he's a guy that can survive on a few reps. He probably just lacks the talent, the elite talent to be an everyday starter.
Yeah, I just feel like a backup quarterback like that's proven that they can be a good backup, even an emergency guy that you put in. That guy should have a job as a backup on a consistent team.
Yeah, he still has a job right now. I mean, he's still in the league.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, when Jay was coaching, I think his last year in Washington, they got decimated. Alex Smith got hurt. Haskins got hurt. Colt McCoy got hurt. They brought in Sanchez, I think. And they ended up signing Josh Johnson, and he played really good the games he got in.
Yeah. So what about you, Coach? Do you have a coach? Have you been at the top of your own coaching hierarchy for a while, and you don't have somebody that's barking orders at you and screaming at you?
Well, my wife, you should see how that's going, fellas. I mean, she's tough. She cheered at Tennessee. That's where I met her. She's 5 feet tall. She's a cute little gal, and she's running the show now. I'm just I'm doing my best, man. I'm trying to reinvent myself as a more productive, assistant around the house. But she's dancing. She's a ballroom dancer for Fred Astaire, and she dances really well, and she dances with these really handsome guys. And I'm just kind of over here cleaning the house, jealous.
Is there ever a moment when you're getting up at 4 a.m. to go into your facility where she has to be like, "Hey, John, you're not on a team right now. Like, you don't have to go in at 4 a.m."
That happens a lot. It happens a lot. I mean, Butch Jones brought some of the Arkansas State guys down, and Dowell Loggins from South Carolina brought a couple of the Gamecock coaches over, and I still look at it like it's the last thing in life, man. Just the opportunity to help somebody get better. Yeah, that's what this game has always been for me. You just love bringing in a guy and have him play better for you than he did for the other guy. Mm-hmm. There's something that really fires me up about that. And when you study something all off season and you can help somebody and you see them use it in a game and have success with it, that's awesome.
Was Rich Gannon the quintessential guy that you just described? Because obviously he was not like lighting the world on fire, and then you got your hands on him, and he had some great seasons.
Yeah, Gannon was unbelievable, man. I mean, he single-handedly, I think, turned that franchise around. I got a lot of credit for some of the good things that happened, but his attitude, his desire to be great. He'd walk in the office and say, "What do you got for me? Coach me, give me something." I mean, he needed tip sheets. And the more control we gave him at the line of scrimmage, the more plays, the more personnel groupings, the better he played. The more we asked him to do, I told him one day, I said, "One of these days, Rich, you're going to get on the plane and you're going to hit me right in the chest and say, 'Wait till you see this film. We didn't waste one play.'" Yeah. And I remember one year we played up in Kansas City and we got after their ass. I was sitting in the front of the plane having a cold beer. I was so happy. Gannon walked back toward the plane. He thumped me right on the chest. He goes, "Take a look at that film." He relished supreme execution. I mean, he was so into that. And if he audibled to a play where we had 4-on-3, or we were on a fast break, we had numbers, or he audibled for Tim Brown against their weak link corner and we didn't get it done, he'd be pissed off for a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was just into that. He was anally competitive, and I absolutely loved every minute of coaching that guy.
Yeah.
Is there a guy that you've had? I know obviously when you coach guys, you coach them hard. That's kind of your style. You're gonna yell at everybody. You're gonna get in everybody's face. How do you know when there's a guy that maybe can't take as much pushing as you want to give him? And then do you dial it back, or are you just like, this guy can't play for me?
Yeah, I really I don't yell at everybody. I never yelled at Jerry Rice. I really didn't yell at Tim Brown. I'm not going to yell at Steve Wisniewski or Barrett Robbins or something. I don't yell at a lot of these guys. A lot of it's encouraging, sarcasm. I try to piss you off one day. I try to stir the pot. You know what I mean, guys?
Mm-hmm.
I try to make you guys laugh, say something that really make you laugh. And I'll try to tick you off the next day. And then I might try to fire you up. Might even try to well you up one day with a teary-eyed little comment or something, But I like guys that are emotionally into it, genuine enthusiasm, and consistently there while we're out there. I just can't stand going through the motions with these dull, boring meetings and lackluster practices. They drove me nuts.
Yeah.
So how do you stir it up? If you're going through a lackluster meeting, if you've been walking around the building, things are just kind of boring. What's your plan? What's your go-to? Do you have like a book that you look up? You're like football coach tricks. Do you get on the phone with somebody? Do you talk to another coach, or do you just have like creative energy to come up with something weird?
Well, creativity's always, I think, been part of being a good teacher. You don't just run the same play from the same formation with the same drills. You got to mix it up. And I believe in analogies a lot. I would make videos, talking about competitiveness. I don't know, I might have a leopard taking a drink out of a puddle of water, and have some alligator come out of nowhere and snatch that guy right there for a snack, And if you're not competing for dinner, man, you ain't competing. But just stupid analogies, having fun with these guys, demonstrations, whatever it may be, using the social media world. There's some unbelievable things if you have a video guy on your staff, or you have somebody that's helping you put together analogies that are relative to the team you're playing or to the guy you're coaching. The players loved it and they appreciated it, I think, deep down somewhere.
Yeah. All right. So this has been awesome, Coach. I got a couple last questions for you. The first is so I'm a Bears fan, PFT is a Commanders fan, and our producer Hank's a Patriots fan. What have you seen from the rookie quarterbacks through, limited sample size, but how are you feeling about Caleb Williams, Jayden Daniels, and Drake May going forward? Did those franchises get the right guy?
I really like the kid in Chicago, Caleb Williams. I think they got to protect him better, against good defenses and obvious passing situations. I'm hoping he starts to do a little bit more at the line of scrimmage, fixing protections, getting out of certain protections when he knows there's a blitz coming that they can't pick up. And I think that'll help him big time moving forward. But his ability to throw the ball from awkward deliveries, his accuracy. I want to see Williams when the weather gets shitty up there in Chicago, though.
Yeah.
That to me is going to be really important because, having coached for the Green Bay Packers, I'm telling you, it is cold, man. It's hard to throw a ball. I couldn't throw Sterling Sharp ball drills in pregame. It was too cold for me.
Yeah.
And Jayden Daniels, I like Daniels a lot. Obviously, he's electrifying. But I saw him get hit again. I saw him carry the ball 18 times in the first game against Tampa. I don't want to see this guy running the ball unless he's scrambling. And I want to see him protect himself a lot better because he's not the biggest guy. But I'll say this, he has been very impressive throwing and passing and competing. He's just going to be his own worst enemy. I'd be pissed at him every time he took a hit. You know what I mean, guys?
Yeah.
Because that quarterback, he's the only guy in the team that can't play with a sore right shoulder or a jammed left or a jammed right thumb. So we got to be really careful with him. And, when it comes to Drake May, I think they have a long way to go with their offense. They really don't have much firepower at receiver. They don't really have a great offensive line. And they're playing behind a little bit. But I thought he showed some poise and he showed some real progress in the last game and a half against Houston and Jacksonville out there in London.
Yeah.
I had a last question for you, Coach. And again, thank you very much for joining us. I hope we can talk to you in person at some point.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe come watch some football. By the way, what is your setup like for NFL Sunday?
Well, I have this YouTube channel, as you know. You get all the games. You can flick back and forth, or you can put four at a time on. So we here at the FFCA, we've got 2 TVs. We can put the game we really want to watch on the big one, and we can put 4 games on at the bottom. And then you can put a couple of your buddies over there in the other room to study the game that you can't study, so they can give you a report at halftime. It's a sick world that I live in, really.
I love it.
I love that.
I love it. Do you still love Spider 2? Why banana?
Spider, if you have a fullback, that's why I should be on your fullback board.
Yes.
I'm watching the Rams. No disrespect to the Rams. I've been watching them all morning. They're in 11 personnel the whole game. They never have a fullback. No 2-back sets. How the hell do you go through a game, short yardage? Yesterday against the Raiders, they get smashed on 3rd and 1 3 straight times. Put the fullback in there and throw a Y banana, man.
What is it about?
What's
it about that play that just makes it unguardable?
You know what's great about the play? It's the protection. Spider 2 is the protection. Spider 2, the line slides to the left, and the fullback goes to the right in Spider 2. If we call Spider 3, the line slides to the right, and the back goes to the left. But Spider 2 is an aggressive protection. If you're the right tackle, the right guard, or the center, you block your inside gap. That's it. And you come down pissed off and knock the crap out of that inside gap. The linemen love the protection, and it's a safe gap protection. And then you have, obviously, the fullback bluffing and catching the ball. We used to throw a banana just to get Mike Allstott the ball on the sidelines so I could see Ray Buchanan of the Falcons try to tackle him. I love it. Making these corners tackle Mike Allstott. Hell, I didn't want to get in my car and go home unless I had that image in my mind.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. All right, so I have one last question. Rowback question, RHOBACK.com, promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase. Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts, rowback.com, promo code TAKE. This has been so much fun, Coach, and we definitely want to have you back on talking football week to week here and there. But I had one last question. Will Compton, you coached him. What do you think about him as a football player? Real football guy. He's a football guy.
Will Compton, he was the original Gruden grinder. When I started doing that segment on Monday Night Football, Will Compton's exactly what I'm talking about. It's not going to be pretty. He's not going to be Luke. He's not Luke Kuechly. He's not Fred Warner. He's just not. He's just Will freaking Compton. But he gets the job done, man.
I love it.
The guy's productive in any situation, and he fights his ass. I love Will Compton. You tell him I said hello.
I will. Listen, we got to, like PFT said, we got to get you here to Chicago, to our studio, do in person, maybe watch some football together, and then you get to watch. We have a Will Compton museum in the bathroom here, so you can visit it. Maybe you have something that you could put in there. But yeah, he's got a full handicap stall in the bathroom. It's got all his stats and his jerseys. It's a beautiful museum.
Why don't you tell Will Compton to put a picture of himself up, throwing up after Indiana kicked their ass 56-7?
Oh, no. He's in a bad spot right now.
Yeah.
He's not.
Tell
he's
him I
not.
said hello. I love your show, and thanks for having me on. I hope the ratings don't plummet.
This is going to be great. And, yeah, we would love to have you come by sometime. And thank you so much, Coach. It was great talking football with you.
Coach, I'm going to get your info, and I'm going to send you a text about the college football low man trophy, because we got Lorenzo Neal on there, Mike Allstott's on the committee. We would love to have you on there and shine some light on the fullbacks.
That would be an honor. Thank you, guys.
Welcome back to another Fyre Fest of the Week, brought to you by our friends over at Morgan & Morgan. You know what really sucks? Quitting golf for the entire winter. You know what doesn't suck is going to Morgan & Morgan so they can help you get what you deserve. While they can't help Hank get above the rim, they can help fight to get you full and fair compensation if you're injured. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/PMT, or you can dial #law, #529 from your cell phone. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/PMT or dial #law, #529 from your cell phone.
Okay, let's wrap up. We have Fyre Fest of the Week. Henry?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Not too bad of a Fyre Fest. Could have been worse. I had a 6 a.m. flight back from Boston yesterday.
Oh, no.
I was staying at my uncle has a place in Cambridge, so like not too far from the airport. I was sleeping on an air mattress at his place. I had an alarm set for 4:45.
Didn't drink a single beer?
I had one single beer. It was given to me. Would have been rude to turn it down, but one beer, not bad. Alarm set for 4:45. It was on vibrate mode, so I did not hear it. My uncle kind of shook me at 5:15, was like, hey, it's 5:15. I had to just instantly wake up, call an Uber right away, run downstairs, get to the airport. The flight stopped boarding at 5:45. I got to the airport at 5:35. And then my Fyre Fest was that I had to be that guy in the line at security that was like, hey, I'm really sorry. I have a flight at 6. Do you mind? Hey, I'm really sorry. Do you have a flight at 6? Do you mind? Hey, I'm really sorry. I have a flight at 6. Do you mind?
You're the
and
worst.
then I had to full sprint to the airport to make it with 1 minute to spare.
Did anybody say, yes, I do mind?
No. It was in the clear line, so it was only like 10, 15 people. But I felt horrible doing it. Super awkward. But also it was the only way that I was going to make my flight, and I did. So worth it, awkward, felt like an asshole, but sometimes it's got to be done.
I feel like you lead this podcast definitely in having other people wake you up as your alarm for you.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Well, who knows with you guys? I just talk about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good point.
So what did the people say in the line?
Yeah, like no problem. Good luck.
Yeah,
they said someone else just.
They
did this.
hated your guts.
Yeah,
that's the worst.
Although there's no one else. Like it's the 6 a.m. I think is like the earliest flight. So I think
true that does.
It wasn't
change
as big of a deal because there was no way anyone else was in a rush.
And a 6 a.m. The very, very early is definitely a different vibe than like running in at like 2 in the afternoon. And everyone been like, dude, you couldn't have planned for this.
Right.
Yeah. It's clear that you just slept in.
Yeah.
When you sat down on the plane, were you breathing hard?
Sweating?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sweating?
It wasn't too long of a run, so no. I also lost my AirPods in the...
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, so that was the other Fyre Fest. Like, I put them in the thing, grabbed what I thought I grabbed them, and then I got to the plane and went to take them out. I was like, fuck.
That is terrible.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
So you had to raw dog it?
Yeah, but I slept.
There you go. That's our guy.
Probably didn't snore or anything.
That's our guy.
Definitely snored.
It's definitely snored. Probably got a boner.
Yeah.
It's a healthy man.
Yeah. All right, PFT.
My Fyre Fest is that I have a problem. It's been going on for a few years now, and it's gotten worse in the last, like, I'd say 6 months. I can't stop ordering food to the wrong address.
Yeah.
So I used to be good for this once every, 2 months or so, but it's been like an avalanche recently. So a couple Saturdays ago, I ordered $100 worth of Thai food, accidentally sent it to the office when I was at home, and didn't realize it until I got out, and there was no delivery guy there at my front door, and I was like, fuck, wrong address. Then 2 days later, I ordered Greek soup to the wrong address, and I resolved to myself at the moment, it's going to stop happening. And it was the opposite. I was at work. I ordered it to my house. And then 2 days ago, I did it again. Ugh. And I can't stop doing it. You
got to check at the top.
At least, so the beef was over at my house a couple Saturdays ago. And the day that I forgot and ordered soup to my house by mistake instead to the office, the beef hit me up. And he was like, hey, just so a heads up, I ordered roast pork by accident to your house because it was still the most recent address. So then I got home and I had 2 meals waiting for me at my front door, which was kind of nice. But I don't know how to fix this because I've tried to remind myself, but every time I order on Uber Eats, I send it to the wrong place.
Yeah,
and it's a real problem that I have.
Look at the top. I've only done that once, and it was after Beer Olympics. We got back to Chicago like 2 days after or whatever, a day and a half after, and I ordered like three different times I ordered something like back to back from CVS to the hotel room we were staying at.
Yeah,
because CVS, like, you don't think like it wasn't a restaurant, because obviously if it was a restaurant, you would be like, that restaurant's not in Chicago.
It doesn't exist there.
Right. But I just kept on trying to get something ordered to the office, and it just was going to the hotel.
I feel like there's no worse feeling than being super excited about a meal, and you wait for an hour for that meal. And then you just open up the app and you're like, well, fuck, now I got to wait an extra hour for the meal because it got delivered to the wrong place. Max did that. You remember with Taco Bell?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Did that That was a nice anniversary gift.
But yeah, I've got a real problem with that. I don't know how to fix it because I've tried everything. I don't know what to do about it. I want to find like a homeless guy in my neighborhood that I can call up and be like, hey, there's food at the house again if you just want to stop by.
You
and
just
get
have
off
to
my front porch.
stop ordering food to the office.
But what do I do for lunch? I'm about to do it. I'm going to do it in about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I am, if I fuck up when it's this front of my mind, then there's a real issue.
You need to
I need to have somebody else order my food
for
me.
you. Yeah.
Or like it's got to be a submarine where you turn 2 keys
Yeah.
to make it happen. And then my other Fyre Fest is I've got a new whitest thing that I've ever done. I don't know. It might not be. Right now, the current whitest thing that I've ever done
Is wearing the Luke McCaffrey jersey.
That's actually in the top 3 too. Okay, so I'm thinking back because for a long time, the whitest thing I've ever done was I at one point took a Hamilton themed Peloton ride.
Okay.
Which is pretty white. It's tough to beat that amount. The Luke McCaffrey salute to service camo jersey.
That's pretty high up there.
Might be. I don't know what it is. I love counterfeit jerseys. They're the best. So that might be number 2, and then my third is I ordered a Halloween costume for my dog. So
I've done that.
So Blake is getting dressed up this year as Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
And I got him it's got overalls on the front and like a little ukulele for a guitar. And then it's got the braids in his head. I ordered the extra large because Blake's a big boy. He's about like 125 pounds right now. And the extra large does not translate to Blake's size. It looks like a small or medium. So I got Blake dressed up in this Halloween outfit the other day. And I just wasted my money on this outfit.
I think that's okay. I've done that.
It's like a little mini Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
It is kind of adorable though.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
It's a dog in a costume. It rules.
But it's also very white.
All right, mine is just simple that I last week was on a. Oh, that's very cool.
You think that's a good outfit for Blake?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's a
cool,
very good
cool.
outfit. Mine is very simple. Last week I was on bye because the Bears were on the bye and Wisconsin played Northwestern, and this week I'm just like in it. It's gonna change. Penn State on Saturday night, and then Commanders on Sunday. My mood could be completely wrecked until like Thanksgiving.
Yeah, somebody's gonna be very depressed on Sunday night.
And I have the Penn State. Like, that's a double whammy. So I'm staring down the barrel of a gun.
Am I crazy to think, though, that Wisconsin's not as bad as they looked at the start of the year?
No, they're definitely better, but Penn State's very good. I'm just hoping. The difference between playing at 11 o'clock in the morning and 6:30 at night at Camp Randall is night and day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Things could get dicey for you.
Yeah.
I predict a split for you this weekend.
I'll be in the building for Penn
That
State,
makes
Wisconsin.
me feel good.
Yeah,
You'd be happy with a split?
No, I'm saying
I'm
that
there.
makes me feel good that Max is going to be there in Penn State gear.
Yeah.
It's a cool
Yeah.
costume.
People were not happy. Penn State fans were not happy when I tweeted that I was going to go.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
What's your record?
What do you mean?
Oh, they had the whiteout game against Minnesota.
What's my record?
What's your record for Penn State games attended by Max?
I think 3-0. No, 2-1. I went to Michigan last year. That was the worst game ever. That was really the worst football game in the history of football.
Yeah. that
Michigan
was a
didn't
bad
throw
game.
the ball.
That was
They
ugly.
didn't throw the ball
bullied
one
you.
time in the second half.
Bullied you.
I went,
Absolutely bullied you.
beat Washington.
There was like no quarterback play in that game on either side.
Yeah. But Drew Aller's
Drew Aller's a lot better.
a
He's
lot
different.
better this
Yeah,
year than he
he's
was
Way
last year.
different, way different, way different. It's going to be a tough game. All right. Good show, boys. Numbers. 3.
5.
18.
11.
99 Pug.
17. 17. 21.
$12.
TB.
12.
Love you guys.